Here we go. Hey, everything on 3. Number 3. 1 on 1. Oh. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win it. I know the next step from that. Eyes on 3. Everything on 3. 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast. It's your boy.
All I do is win, no matter what.
And you can see these little fluffy ears right here. I'm joined by...
I fucking can't stand. Please, can we draft already?
I know, for real.
Do we even have a draft? Do we have a draft order yet? Or no, you didn't do the thing yet.
No, the draft order is coming because we'll be having our Royal
Christ.
Rumble. And remember, I'm champion until I'm unseated. And with me, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, human grumpy cat itself, Mr. Jay Coleman. Jay, what's up?
Wow, that was
What's going on?
So uncalled for.
I called him that before,
Yeah.
but it's been a while. Oh, I mean,
That was unnecessary.
It really was.
I'm hot on the triggers today. And, of course, we are joined by the no nickname, no nonsense.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Hey guys, what's going on? How we all doing today?
AVH, how's the throat, bro?
It's better. Much better.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys left me last week with the fantasy football surgeon.
And you guys did an absolutely fantastic job.
2 hours. 2.
I just want to reiterate for everybody listening. If you listened last week and you heard only my voice, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I appreciate you coming back. The real boys are back, and they are not allowed to leave the podcast anymore.
It's an absolute fantastic change from Chaz's voice constantly. So I think the viewers and listeners were okay with hearing somebody else for once.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Who's having some drinks today? I know not Dave or Jay.
I am actually not either today.
What?
I got my water in my Captain America cup here.
Nothing for you, Dave?
I'm the worst podcast guest ever, and was running late as usual. So I will be drinking this Gatorade that's been on the floor since probably last episode.
And Jay, you got nothing?
It's your office.
I got water.
You know?
Yeah.
I got something new today. We're trying. Ready, boys? Let's see.
Oh, shit.
Oh, the Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke, 0 sugar because you know the diabetes. It's actually
nice.
Jack and it's actually Coke. It's not because remember they used to have like the Jack and Cola canned stuff. But
Yep.
This is made with Coke and 7%. So here's to that, boys. 7%. Wilford Brimley can't be too mad at me for the diabetes.
The diabetes.
Let's throw it out there real quick. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Pepsi.
Going Pepsi?
Yeah, I'm going
Pepsi
Coke.
guy, man.
I'm going Coke.
I'm sorry, I am. I'm a Pepsi guy. I like Pepsi better.
Coke is so much better.
Yeah.
I'm going Coke. I'm going
To be
Coke
honest with
too.
you, I don't drink pop at all. So, yeah, we're up in the north. It's fucking pop. By the way, it is not soda. Get your soda out of here.
Where you
It is
pointing?
pop.
Where are you pointing? You're not pointing at the camera.
Just pointing in general, dude. They know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree. It is pop, and Coke is better. And I think that's because me and Jay worked at that pizzeria forever that only sold Pepsi.
That only had. No, yeah.
So we
I
probably
can
get
see you
sick
get
of
a
it.
little tired of it. Yeah.
And then my current restaurant, Pepsi. So, and that's because we're in Buffalo, though. A, Pepsi sells more, and B, Pepsi's got the Loganberry, and the Loganberry is where it's at in Buffalo.
Bingo.
And all these other people are like, Loganberry, what in the fuck? If you
Yeah.
Did you know a lot of people around don't know what sponge candy is?
Buffalo's got some weird shit for sure.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Dude,
I mean,
Buffalo's
people
like,
don't even know what Loganberry is. I mean,
yeah, that Loganberry is like it's a Canadian thing, but it's a Western New York thing, and like, yeah, they don't know what that is.
Well,
Sponge-
whatever's Canadian, Buffalo adopts. You know, Loganberry, poutine, hockey,
True.
the tragically hip.
to be fair, Canadians aren't good at hockey. So I mean,
Throwing. throwing bombs.
Yikes.
They haven't won anything in hockey in like 2 decades.
Forever. True.
That's crazy.
Actually,
Like,
and to be honest with you too, fun fact, the national sport of Canada is lacrosse, not even hockey.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
and that's crazy because that's a game popularized by Native Americans. So
Yeah.
that's funny. And then it's crazy to think that the Toronto has won basketball championships and not hockey in years. I'm just saying.
True.
Look
I mean,
how
nobody cares about Toronto.
look how quickly I derailed the podcast. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey, listen, we're happy to have you on.
Hell yeah. We had some news today, some injury news. Russell Gage out for the season. I don't think that changes anything for anybody, does it?
Probably not. I don't think he was on anybody's draft radar anyway. Maybe in a very, very deep league, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's planning on drafting Baker Mayfield. If anything, it just makes me feel a little more comfortable with Chris Godwin. So,
Yep.
We had a scare with Treylon Burks, but it seems like the injury's minor and he should be back. So,
Yeah, just an LCL sprain. So they said a few weeks and he should be okay.
So he's number one on a couple of your guys, or Nuke is number one on a couple of your guys' lists. So, or not, number one on a couple of your guys' lists.
Here, where is it? Hold on, I just had it. Oh, wait, did I forget CD? Oh, here we go. The updated wide receiver list that I'll be reading off later on.
Yeah, we'll get you.
It does have CD Lamb on there this time.
Nice.
We'll get everyone's videos, of this up before our Mantasy Crush sits. So that's just the news, right? I'm not missing anything. Nobody cares about fights in camp or any of that stuff.
I don't think so. Fights in camp happen all the time. I don't know why anybody even reports them. It's just so stupid. Like,
Did we touch on running back signings? I don't know if we.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So yep.
Yeah.
Good call.
The other day,
See, Dave, this is why we have you, Dave.
Yeah.
When Chaz gets to talking, he forgets everything, and we just need you to reel him in.
I mean, other than Chaz, I was the only one on the episode, and I still wasn't last week, and I still wasn't sure if we did it or not.
No, we did not. So we had the big news. Zeke Elliott to the Patriots and Dalvin Cook to the Jets. And I'm a little more lost on Dalvin to the Jets because I just don't know what this team's doing. All this money on Aaron Rodgers, you bring in all these receivers, you have Breece Hall, and now you sign Dalvin Cook. Like, what is this team's identity going to be? I don't know because Nathaniel Hackett runs a super conservative offense, and so do the Jets in general. Robert Saleh wants a super conservative offense. So is this going to be a running team that just wasted all this money on Aaron Rodgers and receivers? Like, what is this team? Anybody?
I have no idea. I'm trying to find words.
Yeah,
for
we're
the
all
Jets.
lost.
This is like the Rolling Stones farewell tour or something. Like these guys just want one last hurrah on the field. I don't get it.
And Breece Hall was activated, right? So he's practicing, but they don't know if he's going to play. Like, I don't understand kind of where they're going with their running back situation.
He's cleared to play at unlimited capacity at the moment, so.
And I know he's coming back from an ACL injury. We were scared off by that anyway, but the kid's young. I don't think there's any denying, and if anyone you want to argue with me, that's fine. Breece Hall was better running back last year in his 6 or 7 games than Dalvin Cook was. Is anyone going to argue that?
No.
I don't think so.
Like, he was.
At least we can say that there isn't a notice. Like, we're all having a hard time figuring it out. So at least we can say that it's not a noticeable upgrade from one to the other.
Well, that's what I mean. So, like, what
Right.
team plan? Like Zeke went to the Patriots. We know what the Patriots are going to do. They're going to run the ball into the ground because Mac Jones sucks. Well, guess what, everybody? Aaron Rodgers kind of sucks. And is that the plan, to run the ball on the ground, have a 1982 offense?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it might be the plan now that they've gotten a look of Aaron Rodgers in training camp, and they might be a little bit worried about what they paid for, to be perfectly honest.
Is that Nathaniel Hackett's game? to run the ball? Because I remember him in Green Bay, and I mean, yeah, Aaron Jones is a good back, but I mean, it wasn't run first though. I guess is
it
my
doesn't.
question.
It's just more conservative. It's not like
I mean, are they gonna go with the, run, pass type, mentality here and go,
if you
run for 2 yards, and then you got 3rd and long, and that's when you're gonna let Aaron Rodgers throw. I don't know.
Like he is like, it doesn't mean, I don't mean to say they're super conservative, but like even the years that Aaron Rodgers won the MVP lately, like Aaron Jones had like 1,600 yards. I mean, maybe I'm a little high, but Aaron Jones was outstanding in 2020 and 2021 and 2022. So like, I just don't know I just have a feeling this team's going to run the ball more, and all these weapons are going to like falter in the offense in the passing game. But then again, they're paying Aaron Rodgers all this money. I know he took a pay cut. They signed all these receivers. Like, I just don't know what to make of this team. Now, when it comes to the Patriots, it makes me move Ramondre down a little bit. He's not a top 12 for me anymore, but he might be 15, 16, nothing major. But I mean, there's a chance that Ramondre loses a lot of touchdowns to Zeke. I mean, this could be like Jamal Williams. Zeke coming in, bumbling, finding his way in the end zone.
Well, it's not like he's got the legs to fucking run 1,000 yards a season anymore. So
right. So I mean, even if he gets 500, but why can't he score 8 touchdowns? He scored 12 last year.
Yeah, could.
I don't think I think this is gonna hurt Ramondre. And the reason is because we all kind of had him high. We all kind of had Breece Hall lower, so I don't think we're as shocked or scared. But now I think Dalvin Cook goes above Breece Hall, and I still think Ramondre goes above Zeke. I don't know where you guys stand on that.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I still think Ramondre is above Zeke only because he was their feature last year. And I think he's still the feature this year, but I agree. I think it's going to be more of a, hey, we're inside the 10-yard line, 5-yard line. All right, go ahead, Zeke. Go see if you can get a touchdown. I had Stevenson at 13. Honestly, that with Zeke there, I think he probably stays there for me. I mean, I'd still be okay with drafting Ramondre Stevenson as like a flex guy.
He's been a 2nd-round pick though.
Right, but I mean, I still think he's probably gonna be a 2nd-round pick still. Maybe it drops in 1 round, maybe.
What about you, Dave? Where you at?
I mean, I don't know if you remember, I was actually pretty high on Ramondre this year, just because I felt like he had no competition, and I felt like what we were talking about doing was going to run the ball into the ground. This pushes him outside the top 10 for me. He's no longer a top 10 running back for me. And I think, like we were talking about, it has a lot to do with the touchdown total. I still think Ramondre Stevenson is going to be the RB1 there. But I mean, when he gets in the end zone, it's going to have to be from 15 yards and out. I think once they get close, all of those carries are going to go to Zeke. And it just lowers the value for me, unfortunately. And it's sad because I like Ramondre Stevenson. I think he's a great player. And I thought I thought he was a value draft this year, honestly, because I felt like they were going to run the rock into the ground. And they still are. But now the split is going to be way different. And it's making me nervous. So unfortunately, Ramondre outside the top 10 for me.
Yeah. And I don't blame anybody. I think, he was just floating there anyway. So it's not done yet, but Zeke not going to Dallas makes me feel better about Pollard, but that doesn't mean they're not going to wind up with Lenny. So, I mean, Lenny is somebody I had thinking going to Dallas anyway if they didn't sign Zeke. So I still feel they might reach out to Lenny. I don't think Hunt's going to go there. But if they signed Lenny, I would be a little, not as afraid, but a little more afraid of Pollard. But if they don't get Lenny, then all systems go with Tony Pollard until he breaks down and gets hurt because he's small.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. Like as of right now, the only real winner of the week is Tony Pollard. That will obviously change if they sign somebody, but at this point,
don't they have Ronald Jones? Is he there?
You mean?
Yeah, I agree. And then who's the rookie?
Actually, I think
who's their rookie?
Deuce Vaughn is like Dave said.
Him.
Yeah.
And then Ronald Jones, I believe, is suspended too. But Ronald Jones is somebody I hate because he just.
I'm not a fan of him either. He sucks.
I had big hopes for him actually, and he never ever did.
I mean, I feel like at this point, if they don't sign anybody else, like Tony Pollard is only going to come off the field when Tony Pollard wants to come off the field.
So his body makes him.
Yeah. So I mean, he's the clear-cut true winner of the week for me.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
So, all right. So that's the news we have to touch on. Ramondre Stevenson, by the way, Mantasy Crush of one Adam last year, and he was right.
Who?
You, Ramondre. That was your dude.
Ramondre Stevenson?
Or was he your sleeper?
Was it? I think he might have been my sleeper.
Yeah, he was one of the more. He was
definitely not my Mantasy Crush because my Mantasy Crush is the same this year as it was last year.
He was your sleeper then. So you were right.
Definitely might have been my sleeper.
Being right on.
Yes.
Speaking of that, we're here for our world famous Mantasy Crush Nah Brah and Sleeper episode. That drop is from our actual episode. And I just remember Jay couldn't get on with our the way we were doing the Nah Brah to like the fourth time.
Whatever.
That's right. Oh, that's right. Oh, that was funny.
So what these are for everybody at home, a Nah Brah player is somebody you're out on. You either hate him, you hate his scheme, or you hate where he's going. He might be an awesome, fantastic player, but he's just too rich for your blood, or you think he's going to have a down year. So that's your Nah Brah. It doesn't have to be super negative like me last year. My Nah Brah last year was, do you guys remember? It was one Allen Robinson. And was I right about him? Yeah! I sure was.
Dude, Allen Robinson, holy shit.
So that I hit it out of the park with the Nah Brah. Your Mantasy Crush is your dude. You're planting your flag on this guy. This is your dude. It doesn't matter if he's Christian McCaffrey first overall or if he's in the last round. This is your guy. You're allowed to pick whomever you want. And then the sleeper is somebody that's just getting drafted a little later. You know, not a top 5 guy, not a top, just somebody that you're picking in like round 6, 7, 8 later that you think, say, next year, or, that you think is going to finish, top 5 or 10 in the position. He's going to have a breakout or something. So those are the parameters, and we're going to only cover quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers because tight ends suck.
There's also 5, and after that, nobody cares.
Everybody's sleeper tight. Here you go, everybody. Here's everybody's sleeper tight end, Dalton Kincaid. Like, there it is. Here's everyone's sleeper. Here's everybody's Mantasy Crush at tight end. Darren Waller. It's just, or, that's what it's going to be. Here's everybody's Nah Brah. Mark Andrews. So, there.
Agreed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Agreed.
Yeah. We covered it. So, in the fashion of what's exciting, we're going to start off negative with Nah Brah. All right. So, we're going to start off with the Nah Brah segment. All right, guys. Are you ready?
Ready.
I'm so ready for this.
All right. So, Nah Brah. We're going to start off with your Nah Brah quarterback. All right. And I'll just get it going because we were.
Yeah, let's start us off, Jazz.
We were talking about this guy earlier. Nah Brah. Aaron Rodgers. Nah Brah. I want nothing to do with this team. He was washed up last year. He was averaging maybe a touchdown and a half per game and no yards. Them bringing in Dalvin Cook to already running offense is not making me like Aaron Rodgers. Now, I know he's getting drafted like high-end backup, and that's kind of where he was getting drafted last year, but I don't fucking care. I'm taking Jordan Love above Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to take
Interesting.
I'm going to take Brock Purdy over Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to take Trey Lance over Aaron Rodgers, who's not even a starter. Like, I am just out on Aaron Rodgers in this Jets offense because I don't think it's going to be as good as people think. I don't buy into him. He still can throw the ball, but he's just washed up. He's about, 60%, 70% of what he was, which makes him above average quarterback. Okay, great. I'm just out. Aaron Rodgers on my team this year. Nah Brah. All right. So let's go
to it. That's a great Nah Brah, and I totally agree with you. My Nah Brah, simple. Mac Jones. No fucking way am I even close to drafting Mac Jones, even as a backup, even as my third quarterback, because we all know I'm going to have 3 quarterbacks anyway. Mac Jones is not good, and you Patriots fans are all delusional thinking that he is. Nah, bruh, fuck out of here. That's all I got to say.
Mac Jones is somebody I would not draft ahead of Aaron Rodgers. I'm just going to still take it.
See? Yeah. No way. I don't care who the ball has to go to. I don't care that they signed Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't care that they signed Zeke and have Ramondre Stevenson. The Patriots will finish 4th in the division. I'm calling it here. Mac Jones, nah, bruh.
All right, we all have to get on in sync. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Mac Jones,
nah, bruh.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll work on it. We got a little ways.
We should have pre-recorded the Nah Brah and put it together and just had it as a drop.
We did, bro. It's right here.
Nah, bruh.
Just your name.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah.
But we need to redo it so you're in it next time.
No, we'll get it. We'll get it.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right, we'll go with Jay. Jay, who's your Nah Brah quarterback?
My Nah Brah quarterback is Bryce Young.
Okay. All right. Oh, wait for it.
Hey there, little fella.
All right, go on.
Yeah. Hey there, little fella doesn't even describe it. Dude's like 3'7" when he's going up against these guys. But I'm just totally out. He looks like garbage so far. He's too small. So we all know how small quarterbacks pan out. So nah, bruh.
This dude looks up to Kyler Murray, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't kidding.
I mean, he's had a bad preseason. Honestly, though, CJ Stroud was the worst so far out of all the rookies, but
both of them have had a rough time.
Yeah, and Richardson a little bit too, but Richardson showed why he was. I mean, he showed some moves and he showed some power, but these guys have showed nothing so far. One preseason game, I get it. So, no, I'm with you on on both of them actually, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. So, totally get it. I don't think he should be on anyone's radar. He's not even a number 2. You're completely right.
Yeah.
So, you guys ready? You know, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. Nah,
bruh.
We'll get it. See, we were together. We were together last time, so it was easier.
Like,
right.
is it a delay? I feel like maybe it's a delay issue.
I think everybody's just waiting. So, you're just gonna hear me. You're gonna hear me say the name and take a breath. I'm gonna be like, name, and that's when we drop it.
All right.
You got this. All right, Dave. Nah, brah, me, bro.
All right, my Nah Brah is going to surprise a couple people, and I don't think that this guy is a bad player. I just unfortunately don't love where he's being drafted. My Nah Brah is Mr. Justin Fields. Okay. 5th overall is high.
Sorry, that was my Fields draft.
5th overall. He's consensus 5th overall in most people's rankings. I feel like he showed a lot. He did show a lot, but I've been a Justin Fields fan since basically the start of his rookie year. He's had a really good 8-game stretch, and then towards the end of the season, he did kind of come back to earth a little bit. I don't think the addition of DJ Moore, I think it's a good addition. I don't think it's a great addition, and I just think Justin Fields is being drafted way too high. I would be hard pressed to believe that Justin Fields finishes the year as a top 5 quarterback.
It's interesting considering the man rushed for 1,200 yards last season. And did you see his preseason debut?
I did see his preseason debut. I know he rushed for 1,200 yards last year, and I think there's a few things that, people get kind of overhyped on preseason performances, also defenses are going to be much more likely to scheme for him to rush a lot more now. And I've seen him at his lowest. So we all know he's not the greatest passer of the football, and top 5 is a lot. It's going to be hard. I don't think he's going to be a bad quarterback. I do think in a 12-man league, he's going to end up being top 12. So he'll be a starter in a 12-man league, but where he's being drafted right now, you're not going to get a return on that 5th overall ADP. I don't see it happening.
Oh, Jay,
I couldn't agree more.
Jay, you agree? You fucking had him at 20th in your ranking, bro. Like, of course you agree.
Whatever.
I totally agree.
So, yeah, not a bad player, just not going to return on the ADP. Too rich for my blood.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting poll. He's definitely a wild card because he's going to finish 5th or 20th, like Jay said. So like, it's just interesting to what we're going to get from him. So,
Feels so good.
Justin Fields.
Nah, bruh.
Nah, bruh.
Oh,
that was a total delay.
Wow.
That's a total delay.
All right, but we still got
we'll
two.
get it.
We have still two more Nah Brahs. And Jay, we're gonna start with you. Who is our Nah Brah running back?
Brees Hall, I think at this point.
Again?
Oh boy.
Was it
Yep. That's
I
what it
mean-
was. I think it was last year, yeah. But
Yeah, we were wrong last year with him as a Nah Brah. So why this year, Brees Hall?
this year, I think with Cook coming back and or with Cook signing, and they're paying him almost $10 million. I mean, they're obviously planning on not playing Brees Hall or having him in a diminished role. So I think where he's going and where people are going to draft him, you're definitely not going to get your return probably this year. And there's a chance that if Cook does well enough, that we probably won't see much of Hall at all. So,
Which would be smart career-wise for the kid. And
oh yeah, for sure.
So fantasy,
So-
I get it. I'm low on Brees Hall. Brees Hall could be my Nah Brah because I have him so low in my rankings, and he's probably going lower now. Yeah, he's not going to be on my team.
Yeah.
Is there any
So-
disputing Brees Hall from anybody?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I'm good with it. It's the Jets, man. They're all my Nah Brah. The whole Jet team is a Nah Brah for me.
All right then, guys. Are you ready? Brees Hall.
Nah,
Nah
Brah.
Brah.
Yeah, we got it.
That was better.
Nice. That was a good one.
All right, Dave, go ahead. Who's your Nah Brah running back?
Nah Brah running back. Wow, you're oh, boy, you're gonna hate this. My Nah Brah is Bijan.
Of course it is.
It's gotta
Yes.
be. It's gotta be. I'm sorry. And again, this is a
Yes.
lot. This is a lot like the Justin Fields situation. Okay. He's a great player. And I do think he is obviously going to be fantasy viable. He is going as the consensus number 3, sometimes number 2 running back coming off the board. And there's a lot of rookie hype there. And I feel like he is going to have a hard time living up to that 3rd overall ADP. He's going to have to get adjusted to the system. He's on an offense with a quarterback that has 0 threat of throwing the ball. I just see him having a hard time just delivering on the ADP. So that being said, he's not a bad player. If you end up with Bijan Robinson on your team, I'm sure you're going to feel great about it. And I'm sure he's going to produce for you throughout the season. I just think personally for me, he's not going to live up to that 3rd overall. So.
And you've been
where
very
I'm-
vocal about that from the get-go, and I know Adam has been too.
Yeah. I'm not taking away from his talent. He's incredibly talented. It's the rookie thing for me. Okay. It's also an Atlanta Falcons thing. Yes, I know that they had a great offensive line last year and they let Cordell Patterson have a good year, and Algier was playing very well at the end of the season. Rookies for me, Nah Brah.
Is he your Nah Brah too?
No, he's not. I have a different one.
Well, hang
But I
on.
agree with Dave.
Unceremoniously, Bijan Robinson, Nah.
Nah,
Nah,
Brah.
Brah.
All right, Adam, who's yours?
Mine-
Real quick, did I make Bijan my Nah Brah just to get Chaz to say Bijan Nah Brah?
Well, there's no proof.
Probably.
There's no proof. All right,
Allegedly, yes. My Nah Brah is Damian Pierce of the
forgot.
that one team in the
ranking?
AFC South that
Uh,
nobody cares about.
Adam's got it
The
right now.
Houston Texans. Damian Pierce, Nah Brah for me. I don't think he's very good. I don't think the Texans are very good. I don't care who they start at quarterback. They're going to be at the bottom of the league again, like they always are. And let them be, because they're just going to fuck up the draft anyway.
Well,
Damian Pierce, no go for me.
yeah. Well, they don't. They don't have a first round pick next year because of the trade they made.
Bingo.
Idiots. So
They trade a first round pick only to be at the bottom of the league again. Makes no sense to me.
and plus, remember too, they also spent a little bit of money and went out right away to sign Motor Singletary. So
True.
I mean,
That's what I was gonna say. Look for him to find a way to have Singletary, snake like 40% of those carries somehow.
Singletary,
Yeah.
and we know as Buffalo fans, Singletary is way better than he gets credit for.
Yeah.
That's a great. I mean, to me, it wasn't even in my head to pick Damian Pierce because I'm so far off on him. Like,
Yeah, people started to kind of talk about him when he was like, "Oh, okay." He had a fantasy run. There was like 16 points, 19 points, 12 points. So he wasn't a bad option. It's just this year, I do not expect him to repeat, especially if they go with CJ Stroud at quarterback. I agree. I'm so far gone on the Houston Texans. I'm just reiterating the fact to all of our listeners: stay away from Houston.
Any arguments from anybody?
Nope.
I got no argument there.
All right, so the Houston Texans and Damian Pierce.
Nah,
Ah,
bruh.
bruh.
Wait, you know what I was doing last year? I was queuing it. I would say we got 2 words for you. Nah, bro. Whatever. We're
That's
rookies.
true. You changed it up on us and confused
did.
the shit out of us now.
All right, we'll be better. We'll be
And
better.
the new guy.
We'll be better. Yeah, dude.
You need the I'm new, I don't know what to do drop from Joe Dirt.
All right, so we're back to me, right? For my nah,
Yep.
bro.
I believe so.
It's gonna ruffle some feathers, but I have said this before, and I just almost can guarantee this guy's not going to be on my team just because he's too high, and I have him ranked a few spots where he's gonna go, but people are still gonna take this guy in Austin Eckler. He's my Nah Brah. I am not taking him second at court running back. I'm not taking him third at running back. He's ranked 4th, but there's a good chance I don't take him 4th. This offense has completely changed. Gone is Joe Lombardi's check down, be safe, check down offense, and in comes Kellen Moore and hey, go throw the ball to those 2 big guys down the field or hit Keenan Allen on the slot in the middle. They made Justin Herbert the highest paid player in the NFL history. They brought in a first round wide receiver. They still have Mike Williams. They still have Keenan Allen. They still have the tight end there. What the hell's his name, Jay? Your boy over there?
Everett.
Yeah.
Everett. So they still have Palmer. So everything is pointing that this offense is going to change. So, I mean, Austin Eckler's still going to get a bunch of catches. He is not getting 100 and something catches. He's lucky if he gets 70 this year. 70 is still a lot by all means. He's not going to get the guy had like 40 touchdowns in these last 2 years. That's coming down immensely. I'm not saying Austin Eckler's not a top 12, going to finish top 12 running back, but for me, I'm out on him, and unless I get him like 6, 7, or 8, which is not going to happen. I'm not going to get him 6, 7, or 8, and I'm going to bite the bullet on it that Austin Eckler's not going to be on my team. I've said it before. I'm taking Bijan over him. I'm taking Saquon over him. Obviously, I'm taking C-Mac over him. And as I'm leaning now, Nick Chubb's probably going to go ahead of him for me, and even possibly Derrick Henry. So, and I'm okay with it just because of the changing of this offense. So who wants to fight me?
Oh, I want to so bad because I love Austin Eckler. I still think he is a top 2, 3 running back in the league this year. Injuries are a huge part of this. Keenan Allen can't stay healthy. We know that. We've seen it year after year after year. He has yet to play. I don't know if he's ever played a full season. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know that he always misses time in the beginning of the season. Mike Williams always misses time at the end of the season, right when you need him during fantasy championships. So with that being said, the offense needs to run through somebody. They have Joshua Palmer, who played great. They have DeAndre Carter, who also played great. Gerald Everett is a mediocre tight end at best. Austin Eckler, he's still going to be the powerhouse of that offense, and I think that he's still worth a shot. But he's not for everybody, I guess. By everybody, I mean Jess.
I mean, I think I've had just valid points on why. I mean, you have to look just
your points are valid.
what the player did.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
You know?
I'm just saying, with everything going on in Charger land over there.
Here's something I wanted to bring up because there's a bit of a fallacy, and I know Dave is on this train, and you guys are a little harsh on these guys and their injuries, and especially Mike Williams. So
how is it harsh on injuries when they get injured every single year?
Because you're wrong. Mike Williams has played his first year. He only played 10 games. Last year, he only played 13. And every other season in between, he played 16 and 15. So the Mike Williams, that's slander for Mike Williams. He's missed games in 2017 and 2022. And then other than that, he missed 1 game, 0 and 0. So that's slander.
I'll take it back then.
That's slander. Keenan's a little bit different, but I think Keenan's still a little bit of slander too. Keenan Allen starts since he's been in the league 10 years. 15, 14. We wouldn't call those injury seasons, right? What's an injury season? 10? Playing 10 games, right? Is that fair?
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
if I draft a guy, I'd like to have him for like at least 12 games.
Okay, so we'll just say like 12 and under, we'll call an injury season. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's Keenan Allen since his rookie season. 15, 14, 8, 1. Terrible. 16, 16, 16, 15, 16, 10. So there's a little bit of falseness about how they're always injured. I'm just trying to have a count.
Guys play injured all the time. What are his stat lines?
I mean, I'm not going to go through every season.
You don't have to go through every single one of them, but
Yeah.
Well, here,
are the
Keenan
numbers not where they should be for
So you're
those
talking-
amount of games?
So you want
Because
to talk? Okay, Keenan Allen from 2017.
because games started is different from games played. I mean, you can start a game and then leave a game 4 minutes in,
but here,
and that still counts as a game started.
So Keenan Allen since 2017. This is 15 games, 14, 16, 13, 16, 10. Keenan Allen receptions in that time. 102, 97, 104, 100, 106. Last year, 66. Yards in that time. 1,400, 1,200, 1,200, 1,000, 1,150, 752 last year. Touchdowns in that time. 666, 864. So Keenan Allen delivers. Mike Williams
I'll take back everything I just said then.
Mike Williams in that same time span, he was hurt the first year, he was hurt the last year, but I mean he's always Keenan Allen's way more dependable. We know that, so it's hard to like compare these two because Mike Williams is so up and down. But looking at his stats here, receptions, but he's never been a big reception guys. 45, 50, 50, 76, 63. But that's Mike Williams, 1,000 yards, 800 yards, 1,200 yards, 900 yards, touchdowns all over the board. 10, 2, 5, 9, 4. So Mike Williams we know is all over the board, but Keenan Allen's captain, I feel consistency. But so that's why I feel like to just call it, I wanted to give these guys a little like redemption because they're not always injured. And if this passing offense is going to go insane, I just think this was about Austin Ekeler. It's not how he plays or how he performs. It's just about how the offense is going to be. And I just feel like Austin Ekeler was never fantastic without Joe Lombardi. He was good without Joe Lombardi, but he was never like he was. His great years were these last 2 years with Austin Ekeler. Here, I got him pulled up here. So these last 2 years, the dude had 900 something rushing yards, receiving yards, 600, 700 total touchdowns. 20 and 18. But before that, he never broke 600 rushing yards. He had one really good receiving season at 1,000 yards. But other than that 1,000 yard season, he never broke 500 receiving yards. And he never broke a total of 10 touchdowns, except those 2 Joe Lombardi years. So people at home, do what you want. But Austin Eckler's not going to be the Austin Eckler you're expecting. So, and that's it for my Nah Brah. So stats are stats, right? Who knows? He's a great player, but and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm just not going to have him. So we'll move on to our Nah Brah wide receiver, and we'll start with you, Dave.
I'm gonna love this one. My Nah Brah wide receiver, and I think everybody knows where I'm going with this one. Mr. Garrett fucking Wilson, bro. Are you
Mine too?
Are you high?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like seriously, all fantasy analysts, like, are you high? Are you for real right now? You're putting Garrett fucking Wilson in your top 10 wide receivers of the entire season? Like, get out of here, dude.
Dave, I have an answer for that.
Yep.
Oh, man. What? I'm so high right now.
Like,
I have no idea what's going on.
That's true. Anyone that watched last week's episode, me and Dave lit into Garrett Wilson, so I'm not surprised. Adam, you said you share the same sentiment.
For where he's being drafted, I don't know what these analysts are thinking, and I'll tell you right now. I'll give you a little spoiler into my ranking here for my wide receivers. I have Garrett Wilson at 21. So, is he a great player? Maybe. Is he gonna be a great player with Aaron Rodgers? Probably not.
Nah, bruh.
I just don't see it. I don't see the hype around him. I don't understand where these Jets players are coming from that everybody's just so fucking hyped on all the time. I don't get it. Where he's being drafted, there are guys being drafted after him that I would take well before Garrett Wilson.
Jay, I feel like you're with us too, Jay.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not your pick though, right? But
No, it's not.
so to be clear, that was Adam's and Dave's pick, but there's absolutely no arguments because I just mean like he's way too high, and he was going to be mine, but I actually found somebody that I like a little less. So all right, so Garrett Wilson, we got 2 words for you. Nah,
Brah.
Okay, that was better.
That was better. Yeah, that was better.
See, when you give us a little indication on when to say it, it works out a lot better.
Okay, I guess I'll go with mine since I actually just preempted it. So there is one guy that is actually kind of ranked around where Garrett Wilson's going and shouldn't be anywhere near it, and that is Big Booty Jerry Jeudy. On the CBS rankings, they had Big Booty Jerry Jeudy at 17. 17. 7 fucking team. Are you? What the fuck has Big Booty Jerry Jeudy ever done in this fucking league to be 17 with fucking Russell Westbrook Wilson?
17 is a wide receiver 2 in a 12-person league.
And he's not going to
So-
be wide receiver 2 on my team. He's barely lucky if he gets a wide receiver 1 on my or wide receiver 3 on my team. He's not even the alpha there. The alpha there is Cortland Sutton. It is not Big Booty Jerry Jeudy. Cortland Sutton plays more of the role that caters to Sean Payton's kind of offense. Cortland Sutton is more of the Michael Thomas role. I don't get it. Big Booty Jerry Jeudy sitting at 17 is absolutely absurd. I wouldn't take him at 27. I don't know if I would take him at 37. Oh my God. Big Booty Jerry Jeudy. We got 2 words for you. Nah,
Brah.
Jesus, Dave or Jay, what do you got?
My Nah Brah is DJ Moore.
Oh my God, you and your
Whoa.
hatred. Okay.
Let's
The
go.
Bears guy hating on the Bears.
Let's go.
Yeah, the Bears suck. So I can say that, but
Fair.
I got burned by DJ Moore before, and I don't like Fields, and I don't trust his arm, so I'm not going to draft DJ Moore.
Dude,
Fair enough.
did you see it? 70-yard touchdown.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay,
For
so
his -2 air yards for Justin
no,
Fields.
I meant DJ Moore had the.
Well, yeah,
Hey, that's interesting. I mean, he's not. I love DJ Moore, so I'll always fight for him. But he's going kind of early, but it's okay. I don't love DJ Moore enough to like passionately argue for him. So I don't think you're so absurd, and especially if you think what you do that Fields is going to be down a little bit. I totally get it. So all right, well then, DJ Moore, we got 2 words for you. Nah,
Brah.
Brah.
All right. So we got everybody's nah bras. I need to calm down. I mean, I went a little crazy there on Jerry Jeudy so much that it alarmed Pickles. She's here now watching over.
She heard Big Booty and was like, "Where?"
She's sitting. She's got a big booty. She's thickle sometimes. She's thickle.
I mean, Jerry Jeudy at 17 deserved that.
Yeah.
I
feel
100% agree.
But I
yeah.
think Jerry Jeudy at 25 deserves that. Like, I don't get it. And then a special shout out. Dave and I had this on last week's episode to being in the top 20. Fucking Brandon Ayuk. Why? Why is Brandon Ayuk in the top 20? I don't get it. I don't
He's
get
definitely
it.
not in my top 24. I'll tell you that.
Wild. To quote what is it? Ed McMahon. Real wild stuff. Well, that's not Ed McMahon. That's Johnny Carson. But whatever. We're old. Dave, we're old. We understand.
Yeah, no, I got it.
We're not like these kids. All right. We're going to move on to something a little more positive. And we're going to go to our Mantasy Crushes. And that is your guy. You're planting your flag. It's some guy. It doesn't matter if he's getting drafted first or getting drafted 742. You think this guy's going to bust out. He's going to be a top player in the position 5 to 10. He's going to be a first round pick next year, whatever it is. All right. And I think mine is going to surprise some people for quarterbacks. It's not going to surprise, but it's going to be a surprise that I'm picking it because I am going to go with, after the diatribe I just went on a couple players ago, my Mantasy Crush this year is Jay's boy Justin Herbert. This offense is geared to fucking
Whoa.
fly and explode. He is. We were high. Everybody was high on Herbert last year, and he underdelivered. Well, now he's taken out of the fucking Pop Warner offense and going to be playing in a big boy NFL offense for the first time in his career. They're going to let his fucking arm loose. They're going to use these receiving weapons. And Justin Herbert is my Mantasy Crush for the year. Gimme, 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 gimme. I said it on the quarterback episode. I'll say it again. Give me Justin Herbert over Joe Burrow this year. He's going to have better fantasy outputs, and Justin Herbert is my Mantasy Crush. All right. Who's fighting?
You're going to have to kill Jay in order to draft Herbert this year.
I mean, that's it. It is what it is. I mean, I know that. It's going to be tough to get him, but Justin, I mean, nobody can disagree. Come on.
No, I don't disagree. I like it. That's perfectly fine with me.
I know Jay agrees. We know Jay agrees.
Yeah, I don't even have to say anything. So,
Dave, you're
Is that your guy? Was that yours too?
no,
Oh,
I
okay,
can't pick him like 2 years in a row. So I have to pick
That's fair.
someone else.
Well,
I
I'm just
can.
concerned because Dave's a little quiet over here.
No, I mean I'm okay with it. My expectations are probably a little bit lower than most people are, but I don't have any problem with it.
That's fair.
And shout out my second string Mantasy Crush. I'm not putting him in there, but was almost Trevor Lawrence. So I wonder if any of you got him. So we'll go to you, Adam.
I'm sticking with my boy. I know he was injured last year, and I know he was my Mantasy Crush last year, but Matthew Stafford. I love me some Matthew Stafford. He is like one of the guys in the league that will get you 5,000 yards at any moment, and you won't even know about it. Yeah, I love me some Matt Stafford. I know he's, like I said, I know he was hurt last year. He didn't get the full season. But they finally got rid of Allen Robinson, so
Upgrade.
bring back Cooper Kupp and let's roll.
That's right. Matthew Stafford was a great quarterback until they signed Allen Robinson. You see that, guys? Do you see how that works?
There is a correlation between Allen Robinson and you not being a very good quarterback.
That's very true. I mean, I agree. I understand what you're saying. There is a chance, though, that this guy's washed up now. I mean, there's a chance.
I don't disagree. Listen, he's getting older. I understand that, but this is my Mantasy Crush. This is a guy that I draft in keeper rounds of leagues for that one more 5,000-yard year. I'm taking Matt Stafford all day long, and yes, I know that he's a backup any league you go into if he's drafted at all.
I believe he was in your top 10.
He might be in my top. I think I have him at 10. Hold on.
You had him in your top 10 of
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did.
But hey, take your guy. It's your Mantasy.
Yep, sure do. Number 10.
All right, Davis, felt like you were going to say
yeah,
something.
I love Matt Stafford. I think he's a great quarterback. He was on a much better team with LA. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. So,
very true. What do you got to say about him, Dave? Seems like you were trying to say something.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a Matt Stafford fan. I actually like Matt Stafford. I think he's a great guy. Some people don't know, and I don't want to get like too kind of mushy, but his wife had some stuff going on. With the she had an acoustic neuroma in her ear. So I mean, their family's been through some shit. So I'm always a Matt Stafford fan. I'm always rooting for him.
I love his story. I love that she's doing okay now, and that's always a touching one. Love me some Matt Stafford.
All I wanted to say is I didn't really know who you guys were talking about because I have erased Robinson's name from existence.
As you should, and that's very fitting.
Jay, what team Robinson on right now?
What
team is Allen Robinson on right now?
I don't know what team.
I believe it's on your wife's favorite team right now.
The Steelers?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they traded for him. He wasn't even signed as a free agent. They wanted him on that team.
Are you going to get her Allen Robinson jersey?
Please do.
No, it's not worth the money.
What do you got to say about Matt Stafford? Anything, Jay?
No, I like Matt Stafford, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, I like him. I'm just deathly afraid that he could be washed up. I mean, Aaron Rodgers went washed up pretty quick. So, Peyton Manning washed up real quick. Drew Brees washed up real quick. So who knows? That's my my fright. So all right, Jay, Mantasy Crush quarterback. That's apparently not Justin Herbert.
Yeah, only because I didn't want to, that would be too predictable. So I went with what I thought you would go with, and that's Anthony Richardson. So
that would have been, yeah, that's close. But go ahead.
I'm all in on Anthony Richardson. So I mean, I've
What's
been
your
saying that from
takeaway-
day one. So
What's your takeaway from his preseason debut? I mean, it wasn't perfect. I mean, he threw an
Nah.
interception. Okay. I mean, rookies are going to do that.
yeah, definitely looked, I think, the best out of all of them. So I mean, but
Did you see his power running through our side?
yeah,
Like that was like Anthony Richardson is bigger than Cam Newton and faster than Cam Newton. So that running ability alone, I've said before, is going to get this guy to at least 700 yards. Daniel Jones had 700 yards rushing. Anthony Richardson is on a completely different level. So like, oh, but he can't throw the ball that well. Justin Fields doesn't throw the ball that well, and look what he did last year. So like,
And
I get it.
I will say that a lot, we all say Anthony Richardson, he can't throw the ball. He dropped, I forget who he dropped a dime on, but he dropped a dime on whoever caught that touchdown. He dropped a dime on him. That ball was nasty.
Yeah, he's great. He was. I was pondering him for my guy too, my Mantasy Crush too. But like, I mean, I think Herbert has a chance to be the #1 quarterback this year. So that's why I just went with that. But I do not argue Anthony Richardson.
yeah,
Adam's the more conservative rookie guy. So
I am, but I do. I said this when we were talking about quarterbacks and when we were talking about the rookies back when we did our division reviews and all that. Anthony Richardson is going into a system that Shane Steichen is running, and like I said it before. Look at what he did with Jalen Hurts last year, and Anthony Richardson has all the talent in the world to be that. He's got a cannon arm. I mean, I'm okay with it. I thought about him as well, but ultimately I got to stick with my guy. So,
all right.
But yeah, I like Richardson. Great pick.
Did we get everyone? Did we get you, Dave?
No,
We didn't.
but
not yet.
I think you know my guy.
Is it Burrow?
It is indeed Joe Burrow. Yeah, my Mantasy Crush this year is Joe
cool.
Burrow. And I think even more so now. People are scared with the injury, and I get it. He's a consensus #6 ranking on most sites that I'm looking at, and
He's your #2.
Seeing some mock drafts go right now, it feels like people are very scared about this injury because I've seen him go as late as like the 9th quarterback off the board with people like Herbert and Lawrence going ahead of him. And Joe Burrow, he's the last quarterback to get paid. He's got Higgins in a contract year. We all know about Chase. We all said, watch out for Irv Smith. He's a sleeper at tight end. Like, Joe Burrow is going to finish as a top 4 quarterback, and he's going so late right now that I just think the ADP is crazy.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that's going to correlate to your everyday drafts because everybody simps over Joe Burrow. He's going to be a top 3 or 4 quarterback drafted. I don't think in these home leagues, like, people are going to pass up on him. So I guess advice to you and everybody else is don't think you're going to get him at 6, 7, or 8 because you're not.
I just think how it is like people are going to be, day before the draft. And you guys know how you play in leagues with a lot of good fantasy players. And then you play in leagues that have, like some fillers and stuff like that. And like, people are going to grab their draft sheets and see Joe Burrow as like the 7th quarterback. And they're going to be like, oh, give me, like Justin Fields, blah, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you have an opportunity to get Joe Burrow at like probably the most discounted rate that you could possibly get him this year.
Bro, you know damn well your dad's going to draft him in the 2nd round.
No, my dad's going to take Patrick Mahomes first round. Yeah, no.
Still say he's wrong all the time. I mean, Burrow belongs where he belongs. I had him at like 5th or something, but I just think Herbert's gonna have the better year. Last year, no doubt about it. Herbert's the #3 quarterback.
Yeah,
going into fantasy was Josh, Patrick, Herbert, and no doubt about it. And Joe was 4, and boom, Herbert breaks his ribs and in a fucking high school offense, and he's not good. So I just on that debate, Herbert all day. But obviously, I would take Burrow instead of Trevor. But it's kind of close for me, to be honest.
Would you take Burrow instead of Fields?
Those two are like that. There's those three. It's like Herbert, Fields, Burrow, and like I think I am taking Burrow. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. But just dude, Fields just out of control. Like Fields only had a few points less than Burrow last year and was awful the first few games. So like that's the first like 6 games he was awful. So
You got to have a lot of faith in him to be able to repeat that.
you do, or he just has to run for 800 yards. I mean, Daniel Jones finishes a top 8 quarterback with 700 yards. So like it's just that running makes up so much. I don't think anyone here is going to argue Joe Burrow, right?
No.
No, I'm okay with Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow. I don't have a problem with it. I don't like the Bengals as a team. Not that I don't like them. They're just, I mean, we talk about it all the time. They're just boring. But there's no denying that they have a great offense, and Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. So
And
that's a great pick.
And Dave's best point is that this motherfucker's playing for a contract. That's
True.
That's Dave's most important point.
True. If he doesn't sign one before the season starts.
There's one thing though that I think we do that needs to be said about Burrow. I mean, he's tough. Rookie year, he got hurt, missed the year. Last year, he gets hurt in preseason, whatever. He bounces back and he plays. This year, he gets hurt in preseason, he bounces back. But like, do these injuries catch up to the guy at some point, right? Like, there's just something to keep an eye on. That's all.
Sure.
Something to keep an eye on, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not calling him injury prone because the guy is tough and he plays through them. But the dude does seem to come up with an injury so far every year. And thankfully he's tough. So that's something more like 2-3 years from now, like what's Burrow doing injury-wise. But that's just something I want to throw in. So I don't think anyone's going to argue. So let's move on to running back. Adam, your Mantasy Crush running back is Austin Eckler.
No, it is not.
Okay.
It is again my guy, same as last year, Josh Jacobs, my Mantasy Crush. I called it last year. I said he was going to have a great season. He had a great season. He finished 3rd in the fantasy rankings, 1st in the league in rushing. Now that they don't have Derek Carr and they have Jimmy Garoppolo, I think that he's going to be a little bit more involved. I don't think he's going to hold out this year.
More involved? How could he be more involved?
By running for 2,100 yards this year.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, not more involved. The same amount of involved as he was last year. More involved in the passing game. Let's put it that way. That's my prediction.
Very, very fair.
I love me some Josh Jacobs. I always have. I think he's going to have a great year again. Yes, I know he's on the franchise tag. I do not think he is going to hold out. I think he is going to play. It is a contract year for him as well, technically. Give me some Josh Jacobs. I'll draft him all day.
So you just copied your homework from last year is what's happening.
Pretty much.
Yeah, sounds like it.
No, I got a new one for my wide receiver. So
All right.
but I have to stick with my 2 guys, man.
I mean, for you to say the league's leading rusher as your Mantasy Crush, great. I mean, because it is you think I'm making
But he was my Mantasy Crush before he was the leading rusher. So
nobody's probably picking him to lead the NFL in rushing again. Maybe you are,
Probably
but that's next week's episode where we pick those. I love Josh Jacobs. It's just that contract situation is scary. And if that dude misses 2 games, that screws you. Even.
True.
And if he doesn't get into the flow of things, like I know it's the same offense, but you got a new quarterback, so some things are changing. You got a new quarterback that does not have the arm at all of your old quarterback. Let me rephrase that. You have a new offensive with a quarterback that doesn't have an arm. So like it's gonna be different, and it's interesting to see where it's gonna go. And plus, at some point they're probably gonna trade Devontae Adams to the Jets, and who knows? So
yeah, we'll see about that.
But I love Josh Jacobs. Does anybody have any strong opinion against Josh Jacobs?
I actually do.
Go on.
Josh Jacobs, I feel like it's going to be hard for him to repeat what he did last year. It's going to be very, very hard for him to repeat that. And like, I understand that his ADP doesn't reflect that. I mean, it's obviously like, I mean, statistically, when we're talking about a guy leading the league in rushing, like he's automatically like a 1-2 for the next year. And Josh Jacobs kind of reflects that. He's a number 8 right now on most people's rankings. And like, I don't know. I have a hard time just thinking that Josh Jacobs is going to finish in the top 10. And I wish I had some more information to back that up, but it's just like a gut check feeling. I have a hard time believing Josh Jacobs is going to be a top 10 this year.
That's fine. You can pass on him so I can draft him.
Okay.
Now you sound like me. Jay, you got any strong feelings about Josh?
No, I like Josh, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, we were Josh Jacob stands last year, and we were right. That's one. So Adam was right about his Mantasy Crush last year with Josh Jacobs. So all right, we'll go with my Mantasy Crush. Well, it's really one, but I decided to put Bijan in because you guys are all expecting it, and I feel like I have to put Bijan in because I do have him ranked 2. But it's really not that absurd because everybody has him ranked like 3 in the industry, but not you guys. And I've said everything I can say about Bijan. Super talented kid going into one of the best offensive lines in the league and the heaviest run scheme in the league. High draft pick, high draft capital. They're going to run this kid as much as possible. I said it in the running back episodes how these rookie running backs can carry their team and can be successful. I've said it all I can about Bijan Robinson, so he is my Mantasy Crush. But of course, as well, my real Mantasy Crush is who, Jay?
Saquon
Barkley. He is
every time.
He is the best, most talented running back in the NFL until he gets dethroned by Bijan, possibly. But as of today, the best talented running back in the NFL, Saquon Barkley. He showed up last year. He was a top running back last year. He catches the ball. He gets touchdowns. He runs you over. He runs by you. His offense is better. He's with Brian Daboll. Daniel Jones stepped it up. The receivers are figuring it out. They brought in Darren Waller to help shore it up. And plus, Darren Waller can block too, which is going to help the running game. Saquon Barkley has the easiest path, sans injury, to be the running back 1 this year. I still would take Bijan over him, possibly just because of the offensive line and the youth. But if there's a gun to my head, there's still a chance I take Saquon. But I hold these two very similarly, just with Bijan being younger and having a better offensive line. So, and a better injury history. I mean, we don't draft for injuries, but I mean, Bijan has never been hurt in the NFL, and Saquon has. So that's kind of why, Bijan is ahead of him for me, and I know you guys are expecting that, but y'all know Saquon's my baby boy. So I know
I knew it was going to be one or the other.
Yeah, so it's both.
That's fair. That's fair to say. I'm okay with it. The Bijan thing, I don't need to talk about him anymore. And Saquon had a great season last year, and he stayed healthy, which is a huge plus. So,
and just all signs point to this offense being better. So if that offense is better, why is Saquon not better? Right? Like Brian Dable's going to.
Nope, I don't disagree.
Is Brian Dable going to run this offense around fucking Isaiah Hodgins or Saquon Barkley?
God, I hope it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same.
Brian Dable's not stupid. Like, he's a very smart man. He's going to run this offense through Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones' running ability, and Darren Waller. And
I almost put Daniel Jones as my Nah Brah, but I just want to see him throw more touchdowns. I want to see him get better, and I think he has the opportunity to do that. Darren Waller is an absolute animal. If he can stay healthy, that is a big weapon for them on offense. So, and then you add Saquon in the backfield. They're definitely set up to be a lot better than last year. I just need more touchdowns from Danny Dimes.
Now, I'm not going to say Saquon's going to finish 1. But I guess my hot take for Saquon is he's actually going to be better this year than he was last year. So, he was pretty damn good last year. So that doesn't necessarily mean he's the number 1 running back because I think he finished 4. And I don't mean finish-wise. I just mean number-wise. Sure, somebody might have a better numbers here. His numbers this year, a whole nother year removed from the injury, playing for a contract like everybody was just saying. He's on a 1-year deal. So you give me the most talented running back in the league on a contract season like he was last year, and he's doing it again. Give me Saquon. So Saquon's going to be better this year than last year, barring injury, of course. But that's any player. So I know you guys will fight me on Bijan, but of course it's really Saquon as well. So those are my my two Mantasy crushes, and you guys are going to allow that because those are my Mantasy crushes. There's no
hiding it.
I got no beef with the Saquon. I'm all good.
All right, did you do yours yet, Dave?
No, I did not. So my Mantasy crush this season, you guys probably already know, is the one and only King Henry. Bro, dude, I don't know. Okay, this is the first year that you could legitimately walk out of your draft with Derrick Henry as your RB2. That is legitimately insane. Derrick Henry will finish within the top 5 running backs. He will finish within the top 5 running backs. And if you're drafting in the 7th position, 8th position, the back end of the first round, you could legitimately walk away from your draft with Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry as your RB1, RB2 tandem. You could have 2 running backs in the top 5 of production it's absolutely insane to me. So yeah, without a doubt, Derrick Henry is my Mantasy crush this year. Yeah.
But Dave, you wouldn't get Garrett Wilson then.
Boo-hoo to me. I mean, I'm gonna
I have a draft coming up at the end of the month that I picked 10th in, and I'm ecstatic at my chances of getting Barkley and Derrick Henry.
Are you serious, dude? If I walk away from any draft with Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry as my RB1-2, and I will make it up with wide receiver in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, I will make it up and be just fine. I will be just fine making it up with a Chris Godwin or whatever I need to do in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round to make this work. It is absolutely insane. This is the first year, and I've been playing fantasy football for a long time. This is the first year that you can grab Derrick Henry in the 2nd round since he's been a backup. Like, he's my absolute man crush. Let's go, Derrick Henry on my team.
You have been playing a fantasy a long time. I think you told me the first pick you ever made in fantasy football was Walter Payton. Is that true?
My best? No, not Walter Payton. But we do go back pretty far because I drafted Randy Moss in his record-setting year with New England. So I've been playing.
That's only 2007. That ain't that.
That's a you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised that these kids out here.
I started fantasy in 2009, bro. You're only 2 years ahead of me.
We've been in the game a long time. I promise you.
It is a long time. I know. It feels like forever.
Yeah, I just got you guys. My first ever true fantasy pick, where there was money involved and stuff, was 2003 Dante Culpepper.
Let's go.
First ever year.
Okay.
Free Dante Culpepper.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna argue. We're all Derrick Henry stands here, right, Jay?
Sure.
Yep.
We're all definitely all Derrick Henry stands here. So
was that the Madden cover 2003 for Dante Culpepper?
That was even earlier. I think that was
It might have been even 2002. I think.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
Because 2001, I think, was Eddie George. No, that was 2000.
2001 was Marshall Faulk.
That's right.
Two was hang on, it's coming to me. 2001 was Marshall Faulk. 2002 was Dante Culpepper. 2003, I'm drawing a blank on. Shit. 4 was Vic. 5 was Ray Lewis.
No, I think 5 was Donovan McNabb.
No. 4 was Ray Lewis. 5 was Vic. 4 was Ray Lewis. 5 was Vic. 6 might have been McNabb. 7 was Sean Alexander.
Hold on.
8. I'm drawing a blank. I'm just missing 2000 and what did I say? 1 or 3? Or was that Marshall Faulk? Was Faulk 2003?
Hold on.
Yeah.
I was right, by the way. Okay, so Madden 01 was Eddie George.
01 was Eddie George. Okay.
2002 was Culpepper.
3 was Faulk.
Yep.
4 was Lewis.
Nope.
And that was
you had it right. You had it flipped. You had it right the first time. Vic was 4. Ray Lewis was 2005.
6 was Culpepper.
No, 6 was McNabb. We already said. Yeah.
7 was Alexander.
Yep.
And then 8's throwing me off. I can't get 8. Was that Larry Fitzgerald?
No, that was 10.
I can't remember 8.
This guy is very irrelevant.
Vince Young.
Yes.
Yeah, Vince Young. Yeah.
9,
very irrelevant.
9 was Brett Favre.
Correct.
And then 10 was Palomalu and
Fitzgerald. Yep.
see, I got it. Yeah. See, Dave, this needs to be on your video game.
We actually did this.
They did do it on the podcast.
Yeah, I
we
remember.
did.
Yeah.
we did.
Dave
do
did
it.
pretty good.
Yep.
I did all right. I did all right.
You did all right.
Yeah, we had a Lamar cover in there. We had the you know what wasn't in there though, and I thought would be in there is the Peyton Hillis cover. You remember that?
Yeah, you remember who he beat?
Who did he beat?
He beat Vic.
Oh yeah.
I think it was a total racist thing, by the way, because that was when Vic like totally like set the league on fire coming back in Philly. I
Yep.
just think all the white guys voted for Peyton Hillis. And plus Vic had already had a cover.
Yeah.
But Vic was absolutely insane that year. So I'm calling racist.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Total racism. All right, so
I do
everybody
remember
got their running backs in, right?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
Jay.
Jay didn't do his yet.
Because you spent 20 minutes talking about yours, and then you guys went off on a fucking tangent about fucking Madden covers.
Pickles. Who's your fucking one? All right, Jay, I'm sorry. Go on.
Oh boy.
So,
Wait, by the way, Jay's Mantasy running back crush last year. I remember.
Oh
this.
boy.
You remember this, Jay?
That was funny.
Was AJ Dillon?
yeah, well,
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Oh, that
this-
about says it all.
yeah, this could be another one only because I don't want to be predictable and like pick one of these top 5 running backs or whatever. So I'm picking Miles Sanders.
Let's go.
I like it. He was my Nah Brah last year.
I think it's gonna be. I mean, fucking. I think Bryce Young is gonna be shit. So I think they're gonna run a lot. So I mean, I think it'll be pretty good for him.
You're not worried about Chuba Hubbard?
No, not at all.
nah, bruh.
Nah.
He was my Nah Brah last year. Miles Sanders one. He actually had a pretty decent season. He had like 1,200 yards. The thing that sucks about Philly running backs is Jalen Hurts takes all the touchdowns within the 1 yard line.
Or he did 1 year. You never know. You know, new offense, new offensive coordinator. Like,
We'll see.
right? Who knows?
We'll see.
I mean, I love him coming into this offense. Him coming up on this offensive line, but he's just he's so boring. So I don't know. I know we're excited, about because that offensive line is great, as well as Philly. So he's barely downgrading for an offensive line, to be fair, and he's like their best offensive weapon because don't give me 47-year-old Adam Thielen. So
No.
Yeah, so I'm excited for him. But Jay, so this is your Mantasy Crush. You're expecting big things. So what does big things mean, though? I mean, this is not your sleeper pick. This is your Mantasy Crush. Like, what's the hot take? Is he going to be top 10?
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, think he's going to get up there in top 10 to finish? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I mean, I don't know if he's going to finish top 10, but I'm higher on him than most as well. And he's just boring. But so is this.
He is boring. Yeah.
This team is boring, and somebody's got to score points, right?
Yeah.
True.
You guys know I'm a big Miles Sanders fan, and I think it has a lot to do with his ADP. I mean, the value is crazy. The value
Are you
is
a big Miles Sanders fan this year because of his ADP or his talent and ability?
I'm a big fan this year because of his ADP. I think he's going to drastically overperform his ADP. What he's currently ranked, consensus 18, 16, 17, 18. I mean, look at some of the guys up in front of him. Ramondre Stevenson, we're worried about that. Jameer Gibbs. I mean, like.
Oh wait, hang on, Jameer Gibbs. Nah, bruh.
With Jonathan Taylor might not even play right now. Aaron Jones. I mean, it's like it's not far fetched that Miles Sanders is going to have a better year than Aaron Jones. And if he has a better year than Aaron Jones, that slides him into the 12th slot. Like he's an RB1 in a 12-man league. And he's getting drafted as an RB2. So I totally agree with it.
Yeah. Good call, Jay. You're going to do better this year than your AJ Dillon call last year.
We'll see.
All right. Did I get to everybody now?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I
Okay.
think so.
So we're gonna go to our wide receivers, and I'm gonna start making markings so I know that I don't forget people. So we'll start with Jay, so we don't forget him this time. Jay, your wide receiver, Mantasy Crush.
You're gonna like this one.
All right.
It's Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
All I do is win.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think he's gonna have an awesome year with the blonde bomber. So he's my Mantasy Crush this year. So
So good. I mean, he's going like I don't remember what we said, Dave, like 18th receiver or something. It seems like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
This-
think somewhere around there.
this dude has the chance to be a top 5 receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic scheme, fantastic quarterback. He is way better than Zay Jones, way better than Christian Kirk. There's no denying that.
Yeah, and look how good he made Zay Jones look. So I mean,
You're right.
Yeah.
Trev, great pick.
And
Right.
you're getting him on a discount this year, obviously, because people
For sure.
people forgot what he looked like when he was on the field. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
People are
yeah.
definitely forgetting about him
Yep.
being back. So he's high on my list.
No, I think
Great pick.
I think he is a to finish as a top 15 receiver. He's a sure bet. Too soon. Too soon.
Wow.
Too soon. Oh, Jay's rubbing
Uh,
his head right now, bro.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's move on.
Moving on.
We got to be careful though, because DraftKings is taking over the world, and he's got access much easier now than he did before.
Very true. All right. Jay said move along. We're all on board with that one, Jay. Adam, go ahead. What are your Mantasy Crush?
So now that I think about it, I'm almost positive I had this guy as my Mantasy Crush last year.
Oh my god.
It's not Adam
Oh,
Thielen.
It's not. It was Adam Thielen. So you're good.
Okay, then never mind. I do have a different one. My Mantasy Crush for wide receiver this year is Mike Evans, and I am a big Mike Evans fan. He's going for his 11th season in a row for over 1,000 yards receiving, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on Baker Mayfield this year. He is not my sleeper for quarterback, but he's got a full training camp for the first time in 3 years with his team. Mike Evans is just an absolute animal on the football field, and I love everything about it.
Well, I mean, Dave discussed this last week. What is he, Dave? Almost in like the 40s of
Yeah, his ADP is just absolutely ridiculous this year. I would be so happy for Mike Evans to be my wide receiver too, or even a flex guy.
Even though you guys told me not to, I got another one, so we're good. But Mike Evans was my sleeper.
Nice.
Yeah, 36 his ADP right now. 36.
That's a wide receiver.
That's insane.
That is the last wide receiver 3.
The last wide receiver in a 12-man league.
The last wide receiver 3.
The last wide receiver 3 in a 12-man league is Mike Evans. Like, are y'all crazy? Let's run through some names real quick of people that are going before Mike Evans. Oh, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, Deontay Johnson. Oh, Brandon Ayuk. Oh, Jordan Addison. Like, are you hot? What is happening to the fantasy world right now?
I don't understand why.
It's all because of Baker.
I know that it's like the quarterback thing, but like even last year with Brady, like Mike Evans dropped because I drafted him in like the 5th round, I think. So
No, you drafted him in like the 3rd.
In another draft, in a different draft that nobody likes Mike Evans in for some reason. It's really weird. But I was in like 5 leagues last year, dude.
Yeah.
And they all went different rounds where these guys it's crazy.
Yeah.
But his ADP this year is just off the charts.
I want to remind people something. Mike Evans only played with Tom Brady for 3 years. He played with fucking Jameis Winston for like 5 years, and then whoever the hell was before Jameis Winston before that. And the guy has produced 10 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. So he's going with Baker Mayfield, who, newsflash everybody, is better than Jameis Winston. And he is like 40th wide receiver.
Dude, Baker Mayfield is a lot better than people give him credit for. The only thing that they don't like Baker Mayfield for is that he was in Cleveland and he wasn't winning. But he threw for over 3,000 yards all 4 years that he was in Cleveland.
Yeah, and
the only thing that sucked was he had 1 year they had like 22 touchdowns and like 21 interceptions or 20 interceptions or something. Like,
and he won Rookie of the Year, and he got the team to the AFC Championship. And
yes.
By the way, Jameis Winston's last year in Tampa Bay, he threw for 30 and 30. And Mike Evans still had fucking 1,000 yards and whatever. So
I agree.
Pickles is back. I scared her. She doesn't like when I get upset.
Yeah, I love Mike Evans this year, and yes, everybody out there, please pass up Mike Evans so I can draft him later.
Yeah, you're a little quiet on Mike Evans.
Me?
Yeah, nothing special either way.
No, I mean I like Mike Evans, so
You got to admit, 36 is really low.
it's insane. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
super low. That's nuts.
Yeah.
But to be
and it-
fair, I didn't have him in my top 24. I don't know if Dave did either.
I didn't have him in my top 24, but if we kept going, he would have
Cool.
got his name. He would have got his name read. Yeah.
All right.
I had him in my top 24.
I like Godwin a little bit better, but I still think that they're sitting right around the same spot. So I think I had Chris Godwin at like 21. I would probably slot Evans in right around 25. So
I have Godwin.
right
I have
there.
Godwin 22, Evans 23.
Yeah, I have Godwin up first. So, all right, we'll go to me for my Mantasy Crush wide receivers. There's two of them, and I think Dave's gonna be able to pick them both.
I mean, I feel like we already talked about one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going with Calvin Ridley and Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley and Keenan Allen. I am big on them, obviously, but like, I'm not going to really touch on Calvin Ridley because I already did. I mean, you guys heard what I think about him.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that being.
And
Mantasy Crush.
and Keenan Allen, I have him in my top 12 wide receivers. It's the same thing. I mean, I picked Justin Herbert. Why not pick Keenan Allen? Like, this team is going to throw the ball like crazy. Keenan Allen is so consistent. It's a PPR league. He's getting you 100 receptions. He's getting you 1,200 yards. And Justin Herbert's going to throw for about 10 to 15 more touchdowns this year. So Keenan Allen's going to get a few more touchdowns this year. So for me, Calvin Ridley has the chance to finish as the number one wide receiver overall if it blows up. But Keenan Allen could easily just consistently boom, bang, boom, 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 be the 7th wide receiver. You know, like if he just plays to expectation and not even better, he's going to be your 7th wide receiver, you know? And so like, if I come out of the draft with Keenan Allen and Calvin Ridley, if I get running back, if I get Josh Allen early and then 2 running backs and then round 4 and 5 I get Keenan Allen and Calvin Ridley, I'll just take the championship. Like, it's fantastic to me if I can get both of these guys. And the scary part is Ridley's moving up in everybody's rankings because they're seeing the potential, and everyone's still sleeping on baby boy Keenan. So give me him all day. So I think
for 8 games.
You heard the numbers. You heard the numbers.
You just had to throw that in there.
I just had to throw it in there.
Don't get him going.
I have Keenan Allen in my top 24 too, so
he's my number 12, and he could be pushed up even further. So
I have him way lower, but not way, but yeah, definitely way lower. But you guys will hear my wide receiver rankings later on.
So to me, these guys, I couldn't pick between the two. They're at 11 and 12 for me, and I feel that if they're both healthy, they are going to be better than 11 and 12. And I think if Keenan Allen misses 4 games, he could still be like top 15. So I mean, because he's going to have that much production. So, and that's relying a lot on what I said, Herbert and the Blonde Bomber taking that big step. So they go hand in hand together. So I'm very, very comfortable with that. And we'll just move on to Dave.
Short and sweet. You guys already know who it is.
Yep, DeAndre Hopkins. All right, on to the sleeper segment. DeAndre Hopkins as your number.
DeAndre Hopkins. I just want to say two things. Number one, DeAndre Hopkins is slept on. He missed 6 games last year. He's almost ended up leading the league in receptions. He is a wide receiver 1. So everybody just take your rankings, whatever ranking that you printed off from whatever fantasy site, and just switch DeAndre Hopkins and Garrett Wilson, and you'll be just fine.
You mean just cross off Garrett Wilson?
Just switch Garrett Wilson and DeAndre Hopkins.
I can't get it. Oh, what's that say right there?
There
Number
you go.
6.
There
Number
you go.
6.
Just slide DeAndre Hopkins into that 8 spot. Slide Garrett Wilson down to your 20 hole, and you're going to be good. And people are nervous. People are nervous because they're moving to Tannehill. And I talked about this today, you know, in the group chat, is like, is Ryan Tannehill really a downgrade? And And for me, the answer is no. If you look at the consensus ranking of quarterbacks right now, Ryan Tannehill is quarterback 27 and Kyler Murray is quarterback 19. And that makes sense. But why does that make sense? And it's because Kyler Murray still has rushing value, right? So if you take away Kyler Murray's rushing value and just focus on the passing stats, I feel like Kyler Murray and Tannehill would be a lot closer together. And the rushing value of a quarterback has nothing to do with the wide receiver output. And then also look at the names in front of Ryan Tannehill. We're looking at CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Sam Howell, Kenny Pickett, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. Like, dude, is Ryan Tannehill really the 27th quarterback coming off the board? Or is this just like, people are acting like he's going from Josh Allen to Ryan Tannehill. He's going from Kyler Murray to Ryan Tannehill, and I just don't think it's a huge downgrade.
My issue with Nuke going to Tennessee is Ryan Tannehill had an alpha #1 top 5 or 6 wide receiver in the league, and the guy was garbage. The moment A.J. Brown leaves and goes to Jalen Hurts, he fucking clicks and is fantastic. Ryan Tannehill's shown that he does not support a receiver like that, and whether it's Ryan Tannehill or the offense, how it's predicated on running the ball so much, I have reservations, and I cannot put Nuke up that high. Sure, Nuke was good with Kyler Murray because he was the focus. Nuke was the focus. Nuke was the focus in Houston. He's going to a team with Derrick Henry. Nuke is not the focus on this team. You had King Henry as your Mantasy Crush. How are you going to have Mantasy Crush and guys, a running back and receiver on the same team? Like, if
very easily.
I mean, when has Ryan Tannehill or Tennessee ever? You're telling me? I mean, you can argue how much better. Okay, obviously, I would assume that you think Hopkins is better than AJ Brown, but how much better? Like light years?
I mean, I think DeAndre Hopkins has shown it. When has DeAndre Hopkins not been fantasy viable?
Well, he's never played with Ryan Tannehill, and
but
that's what I'm.
Yeah, but he played with 3 dog shit quarterbacks in Houston, and still
he was
fantasy
good.
relevant.
No, he was not. He was not who he is until Deshaun Watson 2017. 2014, 2015, he was like, oh, a young guy. Or 2015, 2016, he was like, oh, I mean, this guy's he's going to break out. And then Deshaun Watson got there, and he's fantastic. As much as we hate Kyler Murray, he was the focus of that offense. You're going into Tennessee. This is Derrick Henry's team. You're playing second fiddle. The simple fact that, like, Ryan Tannehill had A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown could never cross that threshold. And the fucking millisecond he leaves that team and goes with Jalen Hurts, who you guys, I don't think is an incredible thrower of the football. The guy's a fucking alpha and everybody's favorite receiver now. And the only thing is he got out of that system. I think Nuke is a super talented wide receiver. I would have loved him if the Bills got him. If he would have went to any other team, he would be a top 10 to fucking 13, 14 receiver. He went to Tennessee. He went to Ryan Tannehill. He went to the team that's going to run the ball, going to run Derrick Henry 400 times. Unless he's getting 18 touchdowns or something, I don't think he finishes as high as you guys are thinking he's going to, because he needs to have so many touchdowns. They're not going to throw the ball enough for him to get 1,500 yards. They're just not. Ryan Tannehill's going to throw for like 2,800 passing yards, and you think Nuke's going to have 1,500 of them? I can't wrap my head around that. Unless there's a huge change in the offense, they bring him in to want to pass the ball more. Then maybe that's it. But then Derrick Henry takes a step back, and why would they do that? So that's my thing. I think Nuke is a top 10 talent receiver in the NFL. He is not in the right system to have this fantasy value that you two think. I mean, granted, Dave has him at 12. You had him at like 5. I have him at like 16. It's not like I'm burying him, but there is a very
sounds pretty buried.
At 16, I mean,
it sounds pretty buried after that rant.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
I got you all fired up, bro.
I mean,
Oh my
sorry.
it's just this is more a Tannehill rant. He could not support Corey Davis, but he could not support AJ Brown.
Corey
I wonder
Davis.
I wonder how much of that is on AJ Brown though. Like how much of that is on the game clicking differently for him when he moves to Philly, or maybe him just being like a little bit of a baby back bitch and like not giving it 100% in Tennessee because he's fucking pissed off. And then he finally gets out of there and he's got his happy little game face on and now everything's all rosy. You know what I mean? So I don't
could
know.
be, but it's
I
the
think
scheme, dude. It's the scheme.
I think the scheme changes a little bit with DeAndre Hopkins, and I think he's earned the right to put the expectation out there that he is going to remain fantasy viable.
But you think he's earned the right to walk into Tennessee and have them change their scheme when they still have Derrick Henry?
I think he's walked into Tennessee and given them more confidence to maybe do some different things that they wanted to do that they weren't able to do because Traylon Burks and fucking bum ass Robert Woods were their options last year.
All right. I mean, hey, it's I think he's great. I just don't know if that scheme, like, would you still be this excited if he signed with Atlanta? I mean, they're similar teams.
I honestly would not be as excited, but I have far less faith in Desmond Ridder than I do in Tannehill. I mean, Tannehill, he gets a bad rap, but he's a serviceable quarterback.
Tannehill is just you want to talk about like the mid to low tier quarterback in the NFL. Like, he's not a top 15. He might be a top 20, mid to low. You know what I mean? Like, so that's it's just more of a scheme and issue fit. But again, he does have the talent to tear it up. I mean, he does. But you know who else has the talent to tear it up? Kyle Pitts, and we're all down on him. And Drake London, and we're all down on him because of the scheme.
Desmond Ridder.
And the scheme and the fit. And I'm sorry, Desmond Ridder's not that much worse than Ryan Tannehill, bro.
I said this before. Like, did we have faith in Marcus Mariota over there? No. And did you guys watch Quarterback? I think I asked you guys this before.
Yeah,
so
I watched it.
They literally put up on the screen that his NFL like comparison was Marcus Mariota. They literally went from Marcus Mariota to Marcus Mariota, just with a different name. So I agree with Dave. I wouldn't be very confident with DeAndre Hopkins on Atlanta.
You're confident with Ryan Tannehill, who couldn't make it work with AJ Brown?
I have more faith in Tannehill than I do Ridder.
That's not saying much, bro.
Ryan Tannehill
I mean, what
has
has
been up there in the league in passing.
He's never been up there. He's been like
he's had a 4,000 yard season. Like, okay. He's capable of it.
No, he's not. He's not. I mean, it's Ryan fucking Tannehill. This guy was a wide receiver in college. Like, he's not that good. Like, he couldn't do it in Miami. The only reason he was good in Tennessee the first couple of years was because it was like a fucking playground offense of like, give it to the big guy, 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 give it to the big guy. Okay, throw a pass over the middle. Give it to the big guy, give it to the big guy, give it to the big guy. He's not. I am a Ryan Tannehill hater. And like that, and it's the scheme of things, and to just like it's just I can't, and I can't take him as high as you guys, but I'm comfortable with Nuke in his projections of like 16, 17, 18. I'm okay there, but to get him as a number one, I can't do it. So Jay, you're awfully quiet over there because I'm ranting over here. You hate Tannehill too. Don't fucking lie, Jay.
I don't like Tannehill. I just don't really care either way with this one. So.
Yeah, it's fucking it's like, oh great, you just fucking put a Ferrari in the fucking burnt down house. Like, it's just what happened. It's like, you put the Ferrari in the burnt down house. So like, great. Let's see them hand the ball to Derrick Henry 400 times and throw the ball 200 times and see what happens. I don't know. I just hate it. I hate fantasy football would be so much better this year if he signed anywhere else than Tennessee. If he signed with, throw the Bills out of it, throws Kansas City. If he signed with fucking if he signed with the Giants, if he was the number one receiver in the Giants, he'd be a top 10 wide receiver drafted. But and nobody likes Daniel Jones, but he's going to a system with Brian Daboll, not fucking that system that you could put Dick Butkus out
You
there.
love Daniel Jones.
I like Daniel Jones. I love Daniel.
He threw for 15 touchdowns last year.
What did Ryan Tannehill throw for, Adam?
He only played 12 games.
What did Ryan Tannehill throw for last year in 12 games?
Let me look up Ryan Tannehill's stats.
Because he's so much better than Daniel Jones. So what did
No, don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say he was better than Daniel Jones. You are high on Daniel Jones, and he only threw for 15 touchdowns.
Dave fucking is gonna say Ryan Tannehill's better than Daniel Jones over here.
Hold on. Dude, in 2022, in 12 games, he threw 13 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
Okay, and how many? So in 12,
And Daniel Jones threw 15 touchdowns.
And we're talking. I mean, and how? Okay,
In
and
17 games, he threw 15 touchdowns, less than 1 touchdown a game. Daniel Jones, your
so
boy,
much
Daniel
better
Jones.
because, and he's so much.
Daniel
better.
Jones is so much better than Ryan Tannehill.
Yes,
He threw for 15 touchdowns last year. That is less than 1 touchdown per game.
Are we talking fantasy football and points?
I don't give a fuck about that. You asked how many touchdowns he threw.
I did.
But what you're talking about doesn't correlate to wide receiver value. Daniel Jones is the better option, but Daniel Jones, like you said, got 800 rushing yards last year. That doesn't mean shit for his wide receivers.
Right. But that's what I was saying. Like, if you put him on another situation with a shitty quarterback, I was throwing Daniel Jones under the bus. I said he was going to be if you put him on the Giants in a situation with a shitty quarterback, but he's in Brian Dable's offense. Nuke is a top 10 quarterback, but you're putting him on a shitty quarterback on a shitty receiving offense, and that's my fear of Nuke. Like, it's not him.
I think his talent carries him, though. DeAndre Hopkins will finish above any New York Giants wide receiver this season. I guarantee it.
Easy. Sure.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Yeah, but that just shows that the system isn't everything. The quarterback isn't everything. You have to rely on talent in some points.
Well, here's an interesting comparison. Then, if you want to make that comparison, who has more points at the end of the year, DeAndre Hopkins or Darren Waller?
No,
that's a comparison.
That is a more meaningful comparison there.
Because you can't compare fucking Sterling Shepard to Nuke. There's no way.
Okay.
Sterling Shepard's not even going to see the field.
Or Isaiah
He's going to get hurt
Hodgins
in 4 minutes.
If you're going to throw out anybody, the number one wide receiver in New York is probably Darren Waller, right? So,
right.
Who has more points? I would lean Nuke, but
I would still give the edge to Nuke. Yeah.
I don't think it's like far and away.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, either way, we're kind of. Anyway, I'm
and
sorry.
Getting back to our regularly scheduled program.
I'm sorry I picked DeAndre Hopkins.
We knew it was coming. You just fired me up when somebody said Ryan Tannehill's pretty good, because that is false.
I didn't say he was good. I said
nobody,
he wasn't.
Nobody here said he was good.
I just said he wasn't as big a downgrade from Kyler.
You just heard somebody say he was good, so you could go off on a tangent.
The point was not that Ryan Tannehill is good. The point is that Kyler Murray is dog shit, is what I really wanted to get to. So,
you know what I got to say about that, Dave?
Hey there, little fella.
Okay, that's for you.
He's dog shit. Fuck Kyler Murray. I drafted him so many times. Fuck him.
Okay,
we have to go to our sleepers, but I have something for everybody here, and it's mostly for our listeners that want to get in on this, and I want to hear the comments about this. I have a player from the NFL. I'm not going to tell you when.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I have a little riddle here. Not a riddle, but I have
a ritter?
some stats. No, not a ritter.
Okay.
I have a little blurb here that I wrote down that is a hint on who I am thinking of. Okay. In this episode, I'm going to give you the first hint. It's going to be pretty hard, hopefully. And then if nobody gets it in the comments, then we're going to go on to next week, and I'll give you another hint.
But this is like a fucking reoccurring theme.
It could be.
I like this idea.
Me, Dave, and Jay aren't allowed to answer.
You guys are not allowed to answer. This is mostly for our listeners. The first person to give me the right answer on the player that I'm thinking of based on my first hint, or if nobody gets it, by the time we record the next episode, I'll get it. I'll give you guys another hint, and so on until somebody gets it right. The first person to get it is going to get a $25 gift card to Amazon.
Let's go.
On me.
Big baller Adam over here.
Yeah,
Let's
so here we go. Okay.
Let's go. We're not
So
allowed to answer. Just making
you
sure.
guys can't answer.
Okay.
It's for the listeners. It's for anybody
Damn.
who wants to participate. You guys can give me your guess after we're done recording. So, hint number 1. I played 3 years at this SEC school, winning 1 national title in the meantime. I rushed for over 3,200 yards and over 40 touchdowns while there. I went on to be a first-round pick.
I know it.
Oh, boom.
Oh, okay. So, leave comments down below. If nobody gets it right, I'll give you guys another hint, and so on. First person to get it right will get a $25 gift card. We'll reach out to you and get your information and everything later on. So, good luck, guys.
Let's go.
Yeah, we didn't even know that was coming. Thank you.
I know, that's sick.
I think I got it
Surprise.
too, by the way. I think I got it too. But yeah,
I
awesome.
didn't want it to be super hard, but I gave you college stats to begin with. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a winner.
All right, we're going to move into our sleeper picks. All right. And I have a feeling, maybe, but I'm going to say that I have a feeling that me and Dave might have the same sleeper. So I'm gonna hold off on this, and I'm going to start it with Jay. So Jay, who is your sleeper quarterback?
I picked Brock Purdy.
Oh God! All right,
Wow.
Thanks for joining the Fantasy Football Bros podcast, everybody.
I did not see that one coming.
A rock party. What, bro? Okay, all right.
Because we gotta take chances here.
Chances.
What's the point of the show if we're all just gonna pick the same fucking people and be predictable?
Calling you out.
But I mean, come on, he's got Debo, he's got CMC, so I mean,
George Kittle.
So yeah, George Kittle. So why can't he? You know,
He's got the weapons. He's definitely got the weapons. Yeah.
He just did nothing to enthrall me at his ability. I just feel like he's the starting quarterback right now because he's safe for Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan's also the guy that loved Jimmy Garoppolo. So like that's kind of just like he's looking at Brock Purdy like, ooh, this guy's not going to throw 20 interceptions. So like,
it could be worse. He could like your boy Trey Lance, who can't even beat fucking Sam Darnold. So,
well, I mean, Kyle Shanahan has proven he doesn't like running quarterbacks and stuff like that. So I mean, his best quarterback of all time is Matt Ryan. You know, and then he likes Jimmy Garoppolo. So like, it's not his thing. He wants a pocket quarterback, and that's Kyle Shanahan. So I'm not saying your thought process is wrong. I just, as a Brock Purdy like viewer, I'm like, he's gonna have to take a big step up to be a sleeper and finish, you know, even as a top flight number 2 quarterback. So can his weapons push him there? Sure, they could, but he's got a lot to step up and. So what is his ceiling, Jay? Like if everything goes the way, you know, you think it might for Brock Purdy, where's he fin? I know you're not going to say he's going to be number 1, but like where's he going to like finish if he has his best season?
I don't know, 12 to 15 maybe.
So like a top flight backup.
Yeah,
Which probably could start for some teams. I mean, when I won the championship last year, I ended up getting Justin Fields, but I'm starting Aaron Rodgers, who was like, right there, 12 to 15 last year. So, okay. I mean, that's definitely a sleeper pick. And
I didn't see that one coming. That's certainly a sleeper pick for me.
It's definitely interesting. I mean, his weapons could carry him, but they have to carry him because I don't think he's talented. So like that talented. So it's interesting. So all right, good pick, Jay. Good. That's a good sleeper pick because like that's a sleeper. You know, by all means. All right, Adam. What do you got as your sleeper?
So, my sleeper pick. I can't remember who I picked last year as my sleeper. Probably this guy, but I'm going with Derek Carr, man. I'm a big Derek Carr fan. I think he gets a lot of hate for being in, Oakland and then now in Vegas and everything. But he's going into a Saints organization that has Michael Thomas and Chris Olave. Chris Olave proved that he could handle wide receiver 1 duties last year, and he was getting the ball thrown from Andy Dalton for most of the season. And Michael Thomas is Michael Thomas. He ended up getting hurt last year. Obviously, he's got injury
What?
issues. But if
He
that
got
guy can
hurt?
stay
No.
healthy,
No way.
Derek Carr is going into his best situation. Alvin Kamara he's suspended for 3 games, but they got Bumbles. They got our boy Jamal Williams,
Best running back in the league.
best
last
running
year.
back in the league. I think a lot of people are still sleeping on Derek Carr, and I think this is probably his best situation that he's ever had. I know he had Devontae Adams, but that was for 1 year. And it was the only option that they had because Darren Waller was injured again. If Michael Thomas, he's basically what I'm getting at is he's used to having a guy injured all the time. Okay, so if Michael Thomas ends up being injured, he can make it work with everything else he's got.
I do have something to bring up with him too to further your point. If he's got Olave and Thomas for the whole season, 2 wide receivers, he had something similar. People are forgetting about his first couple years. He was rolling with Amari Cooper and
Michael Crabtree. Yeah, I remember.
He was killing it with those guys.
Yeah.
That was
Amari Cooper had great years. Yeah.
So did Crabtree. Crabtree was the number 1 then.
Yeah, he
and
was.
Like people forget. And Derek Carr was really good his first couple years. He really was good his first couple years, and like kind of.
They had a good chance to make a run in the playoffs until he broke his leg, and then when he broke his leg, they were like, "Oh well, next week's the playoffs." It's like,
good point. Right now Saints Joe is jerking off. He's very.
I know he sure is, and that was for him really.
Yes.
I knew he would like that. So
I don't think anyone.
Yeah, Derek Carr is my sleeper.
So
I think as a sleeper pick. I mean, he could very easily finish in the top 5.
Whoa, very easy. That's a big.
Not very easily. Not very easily the top 10. We'll say that. But if all goes well and he does keep Olave and Michael Thomas for the entire season, I could see him squeaking up in the top 5, maybe being at like 5 probably.
Don't forget Juwan Johnson.
But they have Juwan Johnson, who's a sneaky good tight end.
Sneaky good
tight end. They still got the Swiss Army knife over there, and we'll see how he's used. And welcome back, Jimmy Graham.
It's true. I don't forget Alvin Kamara is a fan.
And Alvin Kamara, he'll be back in 3 games, so he's not hurting over there in New Orleans.
It's the best weapons he's had in a while.
Yeah, I agree.
As long as they stay healthy, because
as long as they stay healthy, I think he's got a real shot to be up there in the top 10. And to even further that, I think there's an outside chance that he can at least be 5.
Jay, you arguing this at all that he could?
No, I like it.
You like Derek Carr's chances better, or Brock Purdy's chances better to be like a QB1?
Derek Carr.
Okay, so Adam won that debate, I guess. But yeah, Derek Carr, because Derek Carr has been a top guy before, but
he has been. Yeah,
they're both low. They're both really low. My guy isn't so low, and if me and Dave have the same guy, I don't think. Dave, would you say your guy is coming like number 2, like quarterback drafted?
I actually think maybe I should go next and you should go last.
Okay, because maybe we don't have the same guy. All right, go ahead.
Because I'm right there with Adam. My guy is Derek Carr.
Okay,
let's go.
Yeah. Everything that Adam said. Also, he's moving to a situation where he's moving to the Superdome, so he's playing half of his games in a dome, no weather, no wind. Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr is getting drafted. Consensus, what, 26, 27?
That is absurd.
It's absolutely absurd. And I mean, some of these analysts have Mac Jones in front of Derek Carr. If you're in a 2-quarterback league, you're looking at Derek Carr being one of the last quarterbacks, and maybe not even drafted quarterbacks in a 2-quarterback league. He's not even drafted and has the chance to finish a top 15.
I'm so sick of hearing about Mac Jones.
Yeah, it's so insane. Yeah. So I'm going Derek Carr.
Okay. So since you guys went late, my quarterback's not necessarily late. If I was going to take a late guy, I'll just give this guy a preface a little bit. He's not my sleeper pick, but if I was going to go a late guy like all this, who I think could be drafted in the 20s and finish close to 10 or 12, it would be Jordan Love. I think they know what they got in Jordan Love. They actually had no problem getting rid of Aaron Rodgers, and they brought in a lot of weapons. That's the same team, the same squad. This guy's been there for 3 years, and he's got some mobility. He can move, and he looks pretty good in the preseason as of now. So I guess if I was going to pick a late sleeper, it would be Jordan Love, but he's not my sleeper pick because the guy that I'm picking for a sleeper pick is a guy that's going a little higher. He's actually getting drafted as a QB1, but late, and I think he could literally finish the number 1 or 2 quarterback if everything goes right, and that's everybody's least favorite quarterback in the league, Deshaun Watson. I know he didn't look good last year coming back. Okay, but now he's got his full off season. Dave, you like DeAndre Hopkins, right?
I do like DeAndre Hopkins.
Name
yes.
me 3 other offensive weapons that Deshaun Watson had while he had DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins with left hand, DeAndre Hopkins right hand.
So, is it easy to say, Dave? I get it. You love Hopkins. Amari Cooper's really good too. So if you got Amari Cooper and you got Nick Chubb and you got Elijah Moore and you got David Njoku, this guy, Deshaun Watson, has the best weapons in his entire career.
I mean, I'm not going to fight you with this one. I'm actually,
Yeah,
I'm.
I thought
I'm right
you were
there.
going with him too.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on Deshaun Watson
Oh,
this year. I
mhm.
think, he looked not great last year, and I think he's got full practice, full preseason. He's got some great weapons. I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's getting slept on a little bit. And if you fade on quarterback, I'm totally fine with Deshaun Watson.
He's got the best weapons of his career. He is going into an offense that has a great offensive line. People forget how great the Browns' offensive line is. Nick Chubb is top 3 running back in the league every year. So they have an offensive line. The guy's still young. He's 1 year older than Josh Allen, everybody. So, like, he's the same age as Patrick Mahomes. He was better than Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen first. So he just seems like he's older. He is shown he can lead the league. I think he finished number 2 1 year before. He's done it before. He's mobile. He's going to run. He's going to get you rushing yards and touchdowns. Not to the likes of Jalen Hurts and stuff like that, but he's going to get you 400 or 500 yards. He's going to get you rushing touchdowns. He's got the best weapons of his career. He's back on the field every day. They spent a lot of fucking money on this guy. And whether we think it's right or wrong, this is not talking about him getting fucking hand jobs at massage parlors. This is, his play on the field. I would not be surprised if I got Deshaun Watson as my 10th, 11th quarterback and he finished 3rd. I wouldn't be surprised. And I don't necessarily think that correlates to a lot of more wins for Cleveland. But we're not talking about winning. We're talking about fantasy points. So, like, I think that this guy is going. I think this guy is going to finish, if all systems go, top 6 this year. Like, if he plays every game, and Amari plays every game and stuff. I really do. So I mean, is that much of a sleeper going from like 12 to 6? I think so, because no one's gonna say Deshaun Watson's gonna finish better than, I don't know, Tua. Like, no one's gonna say that. But
Yeah.
I think so. So I think he's a good sleeper pick, Deshaun Watson. So, Dave, you're with me. And what about you two?
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun Watson, we know what he can do. I'm fine with you having him as a sleeper. I mean, I think he's probably the definition of a sleeper. I mean, nobody likes him for whatever happened.
Exactly.
But yeah, he has all he needs to be great again. Who knows if he puts up a great season and the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl, everybody is just going to forget about what he did anyway, so it doesn't
Free
matter.
hand jobs for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I said, he's literally the definition of sleeper. Like, he didn't play for a season and a half. A full season he sat out because he didn't want to play for Houston. He gets traded. He gets suspended 11 games. Yes, he looked like dog shit, but so would you after not playing a season and a half of football. I know these guys are athletes and they stay in great shape, but it's the mechanics of everything. Like, they say it's like riding a bike, but sure, but even riding a bike, you're going to be a little wobbly. But yeah, I mean,
I couldn't get on a bike right now and ride it. No way. Just
but yeah, he's a 4,000 yard passer as well in Houston, and he did. He had what, DeAndre Hopkins and Kenny Stills, maybe, I think, probably.
you know
back
who
then,
we forgot
right?
about? Will Fuller. We did forget.
Oh, Will Fuller, yeah, but talk about a guy who has injury issues. Yeah, so he gets him for about 5 games, and then yeah, so it's Cleveland. Cleveland's Cleveland. right? They're 3 hours away, so it's just like, man.
It's not a sexy pick.
But no, it's not. But here's the thing: fantasy football. We're talking fantasy football here, right? Deshaun Watson did what he did or didn't do, allegedly, whatever. Hate him if you want to, but you can't ignore the fact that he's in the league. Was it handled incorrectly? Very incorrect.
Yep.
But he's still here. He's gonna be relevant. So, is it sexy? You're right. It's not at all. But
Could be,
is it
though.
real? Is it realistic? Yeah. He's here.
I know
He's
Jay
gonna play. He's
I know
starting.
Jay doesn't want to talk about him, right?
I just don't care about him. So
That's what
I don't care about him either. I will not be drafting him. I don't care how big of a sleeper he is. I don't care if he gets 500 points in fantasy this year. I will not be upset that I missed out on that.
Well, I do because I like to win and I like money. So we'll move on to our sleeper running backs, and we'll start with you, Adam, since you're going. Who is your sleeper?
Oh man, here's another one I think Dave and I might be on the same page with. My sleeper this year, Donta Foreman,
Yeah.
Chicago Bears. He played really great when McCaffrey was traded last year. I think he's a good back. I think he's got great vision. He's got great hands. I don't remember him fumbling off the top of my head. Of course, I don't really pay attention to the Panthers, which I'm sure he did. But with the Bears, I know they have Justin Fields, and he's probably going to run for over 1,000 yards again. That's the offense that they're set up for. I think Foreman is better than Montgomery, in my opinion.
Interesting.
And I think they're going to use Foreman a lot more than they're going to use Herbert. I had Herbert on my team, and he played great for a game or two when Montgomery got hurt. But I think Foreman is just more reliable. And Foreman also played really great in Tennessee too when Derrick Henry got hurt. I think it was 2 seasons ago, right? And he missed like 10 games. But Foreman was their guy that stepped up. And he was fantasy relevant in Tennessee. So give me some Donta Foreman as my sleeper this year. And for his ADP, I don't have it off the top of my head, obviously, because who does research here, except for Dave. But yeah, give me some Donta Foreman.
I think Chicago's shown that they, for whatever reason, don't have any faith in Herbert as a number one.
I agree, and even
I
when
think
he
they've
was
shown that
starting,
enough.
yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You can continue. I was just agreeing.
Is he?
No. Yeah, you're good.
Is he your sleeper?
He is not my sleeper actually, but I do enjoy the pick. Like like Adam said, I have a lot of faith in Donta Foreman. He's a great runner. And I think Chicago has shown that they don't have any faith in Herbert as an RB1. I feel like when he was an RB1, it was out of necessity, not out of love.
Want for him to be there. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. So
yeah, I
The
mean,
team didn't draft him.
and that's the thing too. Like Montgomery goes down with an injury. Herbert steps in. He had a couple good games, but nothing flashy. Nothing that I was like, oh wow, this guy could really start in the NFL. Whereas Foreman, who was filled in for injuries and had to be the number one for Derrick Henry and for Christian McCaffrey when he gets traded, and he put up and he was fantasy relevant for a little while. Like he was in starting lineups every single week for people. Yeah, give me Donta Foreman in Chicago, and that's another team that likes to run the ball. Obviously, they have a quarterback who does it very well. And if they really do want to get Fields throwing the ball more, they're gonna want to have a running back that could take away some eyes on the quarterback here, and let's run the ball with the running back instead of the quarterback.
I'm just gonna move us along because this is taking forever, and I know Jay's getting aggravated over there. So I'll go with my sleeper running back, and I'm taking a page from Adam because I'm copying off of my homework from last year, and I'm picking the same sleeper running back. It didn't come to fruition last year, but there's 2 new guns in town for this team. Best offensive line in the league, They bring in 2 new running back guns who are going to be hurt within 2 weeks, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles. And
Kenny Gainwell.
DeAndre Swift is going to get hurt. Rashard Penny is definitely going to get hurt. And he was my pick last year because we were so down on Miles Sanders. But Kenny Gainwell is the best option, I think, to take over the number 1 spot in Philly. Those guys are going to get hurt. This guy's always good when he gets his chance. He doesn't get a lot of chances, but when he gets his chance, he's good. He was my pick before that. Given these guys going to be injured, I can almost guarantee that Kenny Gainwell is going to start like 3 games this year because like they're both going to be hurt. And the simple fact too that I have been reading actually a lot of glowing reports out of Philadelphia that Kenny Gainwell is the best running back on the team right now. So take that into consideration for what you want. Fine, fair. I mean, it is what it is for that. But I've always believed in this guy's talent. You guys know I love DeAndre Swift, but he's going to get hurt. And I do think that Rashard Penny is a super talented guy. There's no question that he's going to get hurt. So, and then Ken Gainwell is going to step in to this offense and perform a pretty, a pretty formidable RPO with Jalen Hurts. And I think he's a super pick. The ceiling is not top 12 or anything like that. But the ceiling is being better than the other 2 running backs. And I think that qualifies as a sleeper. So
Rashad Penny could get hurt getting off the bus game 1.
100%.
Yes.
And like we know, I'm a DeAndre Swift simp.
Yeah, I can't believe you're going against your boy right now.
Yeah, but like you don't need both of them to get hurt for Kenny Gainwell to be good. You only need one of them to get hurt. But there's a good chance that they both get hurt.
Yeah.
Right? And Kenny Gainwell.
That's true, yeah.
Everything. So even if Kenny Gainwell's the number 2 because you miss 5 games of Swift and you miss 8 games of Penny. And then Kenny Gainwell's your number 2 for 14 games. Like he's going to do better than where he's get drafted. Now he's barely getting drafted. So, and if they both get hurt, and I'm telling you, I'm reading great glowing reports from Kenny Gainwell. So I know I picked him last year. It didn't go to fruition, but Kenny Gainwell is my sleeper pick. So let's go to you, Dave.
Yeah, short and sweet. Sleeper pick, Mr. Alexander Madison.
Yeah,
You know I love me some Alexander Madison.
Please refer to him as his real name.
His real legal name. Do you know it from the podcast?
I do not know.
The President of the United States, Alexander Madison.
That's his real name.
So that's his official name for the podcast.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So, go ahead. Who's your sleeper pick?
I know you just told it to me.
The president of the United States,
Mr. Alexander Madison. Dude's a beast. Alexander Madison is an absolute beast. He's shown it a ton of times. Anytime he's gotten a starting gig, he's shown it. He's got no competition. He's being drafted currently as the 20th running back off the board. Fuck that. His ceiling is top 10 running back. So I just think the value is too good.
I figured you were going there. And actually, here's a quick this or that real quick. We'll start with you, Adam. Madison or Sanders?
Madison.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm also going Madison.
Jay?
Sanders.
I'm going Sanders. So we're split on that one, but they're close. That's why I bring them up.
I've been burned by Miles Sanders so many times that I'd pick pretty much anybody over it.
Fair enough. So let's finish out our sleeper running backs because we got receivers still to go. And let's finish with you, Jay.
You're going to hate this Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay. All right. Jay's making me quit my own fucking podcast. How is Jahmyr Gibbs a sleeper fucking running back? He's getting drafted like 13th overall, bro. Or 13th overall running backs. 13 overall running back.
That's too high for one thing, but in my opinion, he's a sleeper because I think he's going to be better than what everyone thinks. I definitely don't think should be drafted as high as his current ADP is, but I think he's going to be better than a lot of people think.
They're thinking he's going to be great. I mean, I just don't see it with him. I just given again system bumbles. I mean, it's going to be
yeah, but this is different because they actually went and drafted this guy and like
jerk.
They wanted him, yeah. So I mean, it's different. So
That's an interesting one, Jay, for sure. I can definitely see your point and your reasoning for it. It's a draft pick, and yeah, drafting in the what was that, first round? Was he a first round pick?
13th overall.
Oh boy, oh boy. But yeah, no, I mean, very well could be, very well could be. I definitely think he's getting drafted too high. I don't really have anything else to say about the Lions.
It's tough because
So-
Jay's putting us in a weird predicament because he's calling
He
him
really
a
is.
sleeper, but he doesn't like where he's being drafted. So it's kind of like I get what he's saying,
Yeah,
but he at one point he's saying that, but at the same time he's like he's going to be better than everyone thinks, but I don't want to draft him high. So it's kind of like I get what he's saying. I just can't buy it with this system. Dave, what do you got to say on Gibbs?
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah,
Pass. Pass.
you know what? This is the one we're going to look at when we do our accountability show later. That's going to be polarizing because it is. It's a polarizing topic because I just, again, don't hate the player, hate the system for him.
I actually think the value is Montgomery.
Yeah, I do too.
I
really do. I think if Jay went Montgomery as a sleeper, I would be all in on it.
Yeah, because I think people are really high on Gibbs, and I think people are kind of forgetting about David Montgomery. I mean, they brought him in, and where he's currently being drafted, it's like during the back end of that season, you might easily be able to have gotten David Montgomery like in the back end of some really late rounds, and now you can slot him in comfortably as like a flex.
So interesting. That's going to be a fun one to look at the end of the season. Because if you don't know, Dave, next year we will go over this at the end of the season and see how bad we were.
Oh,
notice I didn't say
we're
good.
actually going to check these all out. Come on, guys.
That's the only research that we actually do.
Yeah.
Listen, true fantasy analysis does not involve checking yourself the following year. Okay, I just want to throw that out there
because I like to know where I made a mistake and learn from it. So, all right, let's move along. This is like 2 hours already. So, Dave, we got you going already. Give me your sleeper wide receiver.
Sleeper wide receiver. You guys know I wanted to go Mike Evans. I got another one here though, Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. Absolutely insane where OBJ is getting drafted right now. He is the 53rd wide receiver off the board. And if OBJ is anything close to what OBJ could be in a system with Lamar Jackson, that's insane, literal insane value. If you guys didn't take a look at the wide receiver, we'll keep it short and sweet for right now, but check out the wide receiver show and check out who is getting drafted ahead of OBJ. The names that are in front of him are absolutely insane.
And I like the way you worded it, because as long as Odell stays healthy, I would put money that he doesn't finish 53rd.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is it a sleeper pick where I'm like, OBJ is going to be a top 15? No, he's not. But OBJ is definitely going to crack the top 50 if he stays healthy. You know what I mean? And
he's going to crack the top 40. He's going to be 32.
Right, exactly. And I a sleeper doesn't necessarily mean a guy that, gets drafted 17 and then ends up, being the best person ever, like a Kamara or something like that. I just think value-wise, OBJ can deliver. He's a sleeper that can deliver on his ADP and then some.
Any argument against OBJ?
Nope, I like it.
Yeah, you good with it?
Yep.
All right, Jay, what do you got then?
I got I don't know if this is trauma or what, but I feel like we believe in this guy every year and it doesn't pan out. So Michael Thomas.
Okay, I'm with you. That's my guy too. Go ahead. You go first, Jay. Why is Michael Thomas your sleeper?
He's got so much talent. It's just he can't stay healthy, and every year we're always high on him, and it just doesn't pan out. So, I hopefully this is the one year that he finally can stay healthy, and I think if he can, it's going to be a big year for him.
One of the greatest memes I've ever seen in my life was the meme that said DeMar Hamlin got on the field back before Michael Thomas. I thought that was one of the greatest memes I've ever saw. But I get it, and I'm with you. He's my sleeper pick too. And we're forgetting that he had, Cooper Kupp broke it. But up until Cooper Kupp broke it, he had the greatest wide receiver season ever. And like then he got injured. So now he's going into a system with a good quarterback again. I mean, we already said Derek Carr's a major upgrade from Jameis, and also like Michael Thomas was good last year in 3 games with Jameis.
He really was.
So like to me, I'm astonished. I've done, I don't know, say 20 best ball drafts. $3 here, $3 there. I probably have Michael Thomas on all 20 of my teams because he's sitting there almost in the double-digit rounds, and it's absolutely wild to me. So, like, guys, I know we like Chris Olave, and I know Chris Olave had a good season. Did he? Because he really didn't have a good season if you look at his numbers. I mean, we're more.
He was over 1,000 yards.
I don't even think he was, honestly, because we looked at him last week. But go ahead and pull that up anyway. But like, because we were comparing Olave, Waddle, Higgins, and Devontae Smith, and he was, Dave, you remember, he was far below all those guys. Though.
Olave didn't have great numbers, but he turned it on the end of the season. Yeah,
72 receptions, 1,042 yards, averaged 14.5 yards per reception.
Yeah, so it's not like an amazing season, but a good season. He doesn't live up to what Devontae Smith did, what Jalen Waddle did, but they're all getting drafted around the same time, and that's what the discussion was. Is that, and I love Chris Olave, but like when Michael Thomas is on. That's like 5 Michael Thomas games.
So yeah, you're not wrong. He played 15 games. So
when Michael Thomas is on, and if he could be on, how many receiving touchdowns did Olave have, by the way, since you had it up?
4.
Michael Thomas had 3.
I know, in 3 games. I know.
Like, and that's the thing. It's like Michael Thomas is an alpha wide receiver, and this guy is drafted, I don't know, in the 40s of wide receivers.
The Saints were not very good last year.
Michael Thomas could finish top 5. I mean, he's not gonna, but he could. And the simple fact that, like, you're getting him in the 40s, you're taking Jordan Addison with Kirk Cousins. Like, come on. Like, Michael Thomas, and if you're afraid of the injuries, I don't think it should matter if you're drafting this guy in the 7th round. Because it's not like you're taking the 1st round. But please stay away.
I have in my wide receiver rankings, I think I have them back to back.
There's no.
I don't. I have one player in between them, but I have Michael Thomas first.
Oh, above who?
Above Olave.
And that's what I was gonna say. Why is it?
I only have one player in between them. Is what I was getting at too.
But my question to everybody at home too is why all of a sudden are we just in agreement that Chris Olave is the number 1 and Michael Thomas the number 2? I mean, why?
Yeah. Well, in a lot of people's minds, it's just he's not on the field. So they just tend to look at the guy that's on the field and go, "Oh, this guy's their number 1 now."
But he is on the field, right?
Well, we hope he's going to be on the field. Yeah.
It's a what have you done for me lately situation, right? So Michael Thomas ended the season hurt. Chris Olave ended the season on fire, and fantasy analysts just kind of take that and just kind of carry that on. You know what I mean? They do it all the time. So I think that's the issue there.
And I'm not saying take Michael Thomas over Olave, but there's no indication that just because Olave started the season as the number 2 receiver, Michael Thomas was the number 1.
Yeah.
Why isn't it going to be the same next
And he was putting up wide receiver 1 numbers before he got hurt. So I completely agree. I think the analysts, I don't know why they're just fading on Michael Thomas. And well, I do know why. It's the injury history. But when you draft fantasy, you either love it or you hate it because you either get him really late and you hope he can boom for you, or you take him really early and then he gets hurt again, right? So it's
well. Shout out to Jay over here, virtual fist bump, being on the same fucking there it is. All right, last one, give it.
I don't know if mine's I don't think mine's a deep sleeper, but it's actually the 2nd wide receiver on the Colts. Alec Pierce is my sleeper pick.
The deepest one of them all.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I agree. But he had a pretty decent rookie season last year. He had more yards than Johan Dodson and Traylon Burks, and he had only like less than 20 yard. I think he was. Hold on, I have it written down. Let me find it. He had 18 yards less than Christian Watson last year. So Alec Pierce, and he's got a new quarterback, Anthony Richardson, who we talked about earlier. Guy's got a cannon, and Michael Pittman is their guy there. But I think Alec Pierce can have a really good season. So
That's the
if
definition.
anybody,
Yep.
if anybody could get Alec Pierce the ball, it's going to be Anthony Richardson. He's got all the talent in the world. He's an incredible athlete. We all know it. We've talked about it. But yeah, I mean, you can't throw Michael Pittman every time. So we'll see what happens there.
That's the definition of sleeper. No one's thinking about him. He's probably not even getting drafted. You're probably going to take.
Oh, he's 100% not getting drafted. I can guarantee you that he's not going to get drafted. But it might be someone you look at on the waiver wire if you happen to be so lucky to pick him up early. If you're looking to fill like I don't know, if you got a bench spot that somebody gets hurt in week 1, you can snag him real quick. Or
All right.
I don't know. I know a lot of people are going to need to see a lot from him before they pick him up on waivers, but just something to think about.
All right. Well,
every team's got 2 receivers, so
this has been a long episode, so let's wrap this
it
up.
sure has.
Yeah, you awake over there, bud? Jay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's up. Okay. All right. So next week's episode's also a fun one. And this is the first time Dave's learning about it, but you guys should remember it's our official prediction episode next week. So these are your official predictions on division winners for each division, wild card winners, conference winners, Super Bowl winners, Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, MVP. You know, all the major things.
And you're gonna send us out a text so we can remember all that. So
Yeah. So it's our official prediction episodes last year. We were god awful last year.
we did okay.
I think Adam nailed the MVP. That was about it. That was about it.
I called some division winners on that one.
Yeah, we've had a few division winners here and there, but we weren't very good in general. But that's the fun part because Jay picked Justin Herbert to be MVP. But that could be this year.
He did.
And by the way, Jay
picked Justin Herbert for a lot of
Jay picked the Steelers to win the division, by the way, last year. So if you guys want, actually, go back into the archives, just 50 episodes before this time last year, and listen to our predictions and have a good laugh because Jay picked. I remember Jay picked Steelers to win the division. I think Adam picked the Cardinals to make the playoffs. So it was a fun. It's fun to look back on that. So
yeah, I probably did.
The gambler in me has a nervous twitch and excitement for this episode.
Yeah. A couple of things before I do the song of the week. I just want to. I lost my godfather this week, my Uncle Jeff. And he was a big football fan, and I don't know if he was so much into fantasy football, but he's up there with my dad right now, so maybe watching the Bills and shouting at the TV. So I want to say love you, Uncle Jeff, and rest in peace. And also, in the same week, you guys know how I used to talk about this other league I was in that has like major scoring and stuff like that, like big touchdowns, like running backs get like a point per carry. The commissioner of that league, a friend of mine, Jim, also passed away this week.
Oh shit, man! That sounds like a rough week for you.
Yeah. So rest in peace to Jim and to my Uncle Jeff.
We're very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and I just wanted to give them shout outs. I know my cousin, my cousin Jennifer, my Uncle Jeff's daughter, always listens to our show and is a big supporter. So I love your dad and I love you too. So, rest in peace to those guys. And we're gonna go for the song of the week. We're gonna go. When I think of my Uncle Jeff, he was a big music fan. He was a big like Southern rock fan per se. So I'm gonna go with some Stevie Ray Vaughan, "Life by the Drop" for my.
Let's go.
So
good choice. Love that.
That one for you. Thank you guys for joining us.
Perfect. Hey,
Football Bros.
Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget, guys. $25 gift card, Amazon.
Adam,
Get it right.
It's not Adam. It's not even on the podcast. So it's the segment called "Take Adam's Money."
Yes. We'll see who can get it right. Let us know.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Adam, again, thank you for joining us and doing this giveaway. That was
of course.
Dave, thank you for joining us and for trying to help me learn how to edit videos better.
Appreciate you, brother.
Jay, thank you for joining us and not yelling at me too bad, even though we kept you up late again.
Yeah, it's fine.
Pickles over there. All right, she's laying down. She's comfortable now. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. The prediction episode is next week, and until then, we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Peace.
Later,
See you
guys.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros Podcast.